am sure sports. You know me there, from coast to coast representing. I mean, say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get the sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know the game play, that me not say it. If me never seen a game, me no know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the day done, you are gonna love over here so.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crapper players. We are good enough. Remember, like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment, let me know what your thoughts are.
Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices, add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
Trick Nick Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
Watch this. You know, say the World General Daily Ranks says, I'm ready for it, you know. Ali Cup and a Folly Cup, you know, say, it's a high grade, it's not a Mali Cup. Saying, big up, a matter of fact, remember big up the sponsors, them first. Complete Shipping, Sam Isaacs and Son, Western Sports. Big up, but you know how it go. ASK Courier, big up yourself, Showtime Ambulance, and we have big up Isato. And guess what? Me big up some of my brethren, them, because them are going to do it, because it's a big day. Big up Sambo. Big up Bats, Barris, watching the Valley, think me not see you. Big up yourself. Who again Daily Ranks if I big up Clint and big up the General, you know it go. It's all about Ali Cup and a Folly Cup, August 13, 14, 15, 16, 137 Mountain View Avenue. You know, over Excel so that. It's a big day, so make sure you're there. Daily Ranks. I want my feet, man. My feet, you see? Ali Cup.
All right. Good evening, and welcome to I Am Sure Sports. I am your host, Man. On this Independence Day, Jamaica celebrating 63 years of independence. Happy Independence Day to you. I know that many of you in Jamaica are probably at the Grand Gala at the National Stadium, and that's good for you. Wish I could be there with you, but due to circumstances beyond my control, I am unable to. So I have decided that, seeing that I have completed most of the task before me, I should come on and do a show, for those who are here and probably not in bed as yet. So welcome to the platform. Again, hope you're having a wonderful day. 63 years, a lot to celebrate. Mighty long way to go, but I just think as a nation, we have made progress. Just where we are right now. The fact that we even have a platform like this with steady, stable internet services, it's a big deal. Because, 50 years ago, it wasn't this way. 40 years ago, it wasn't this way. And 30 years ago, it wasn't. And so in many different areas, we have made some progress. And we must Be thankful for that. We are not there yet, and so there's much, much more to be done, and we need to continue to work hard. And as a unified people, whether we are of one political persuasion or the other, we are first and foremost Jamaicans. Regardless of our denomination, we are one Jamaica, right? Regardless of the high schools that we would have attended, we are one Jamaica, and we should never ever forget that. But we are better together than we are apart. Big up to Kaelan, who says good night, man and his man. Sports Dad Journey, bless up yourself. He says blessings. So blessings to you, double fold and triple fold, right? Again, I don't ask so much when I come on this platform, except I ask you to hit the like button, subscribe, and share. See, easy things. You hit the like button, you subscribe, and you share. Because sometimes some people don't remember that the show is on, and they would love to be on it, but they are not. And so if you share it with them, that serves as a reminder. And of course, liking the videos are very important because it helps with the algorithms. So hit the like button. Yep. And if you like our content, you can always support I Am Sure Sport by giving a super sticker or a super chat. All right. Now, a lot of people may have missed this because there hasn't been a lot said on the online platforms about what is going on where this is concerned. But our U15 are actually in the CONCACAF U15 tournament. They are in Pool B. All right. The last edition, they finished fourth. They were defeated by Haiti in the third and fourth playoff. If you remember, in that tournament, we were in the group with Mexico, right? Got knocked out of the semifinals, and so played the third and fourth against Haiti, and we lost that game. It was some of those players who went on to represent Jamaica in the U17 tournament to qualify for the U17 World Cup, and they were unsuccessful in that bid. This U15 team is comprised of the group of players that won the Caribbean U14 championship last year. You could say that the squad has remained the same. All right. And it's good that they have kept the unit together. That is not my personal preference. In my humble opinion, I believe some of the scouting that was being done with the under 17s, they were also, while they were doing the under 17s, they were doing for the next under 17. So they were doing like some 2010s and 2011. And so they found some, I think, high quality talent in that batch. There is at least one player who is one level below MLS in the United States of America at 15 years old that he did not get an opportunity to try out for this U15. All right. So let me just put that out there. And I think he could have made a team and added value. While the team has done well, I think they could have done better. And if you go back to the last U15, there were 3 players from the United States who were in the final squad. One did not make it because I think his passport process was completed too late. And so that's Raekwon, who was part of the U17 team. But Kai McLean played in that tournament that they finished third. And also Cadriano Marsh Giovanni Taylor was also there. Kai Miles, I think, was the captain of that team. Donald Stewart Jr. was also in that team as well. The goalkeeper that kept in the under 17, he was there. So you see some continuity in what is happening. So commend the team, because today they scored in the second minute of time added on to earn a 1-0 victory over Curacao. All right. Now, oftentimes we hear about all of these other nations recruiting and getting players and all of that. Jamaica still beats them, right? And so we should not undervalue our footballing pedigree. We are not there yet, but let me tell you, there's a lot of work to be done. But our youngsters continue to perform well. So they have topped their group, and so they are top their group, and let me see if I can find some info to kind of at least give you a little idea as to what so, all right. Just some information, of course, provided by Simon. Yeah, man. And this is information provided by Simon. As I mentioned, Simon name he enters the chat. I don't know why. People say speak of the, and here he comes, but he's certainly not the devil. You understand me? Big up Jason Guna. Big up Simon Preston Chorus. Big up Jew Ross, aka Jew Fortis. Big up yourself. Danny Dread. Big up yourself as well. So the goal was scored by 1738 RR. You know that I interviewed him recently, Garol Hamilton, someone who we were in school together. He was ahead of me. He captained the Manning School team when I was there. And yeah, so he got an order of distinction today. Ricardo Bibi Gardner also received an order of distinction. Yeah. Carl Chung at Western Sports received an order of distinction. People in the sporting stuff. So big up to all of those persons and all the others who were received some award and honor from the government. All right. So Jamaica, Kelvin Brown scored in the 70th minute, and the team played well. Let me say that the team actually played well, but I think I think we could have added some more value to the team. I think there are at least 3 players. In fact, there is a player in England that it is at a big club in Europe that we met in England that could have Ewan Blake and Ravman Powell. Ravman Powell must be Brian Mighton do that. Ravman Powell. Brian Mighton must be him. Big up Ravman Powell. Big up Ravman Powell. All right. Yeah, big up Ravman Powell, who could have been a part of this U15. So while the team has done well, room to improve. They could have added like 3 players that I think could have made the team look better than it is right now. Nonetheless, let's commend the youngsters, because on Independence Day, they left it late, but they gave the nation a good gift by winning the game by a goal to nil. Kelvin Brown scoring the lone goal. They had defeated Aruba, right? Aruba by 4 goals to nil. And they also defeated Belize by 2 goals to nil. Yet to concede a goal. I think the defense has looked a whole lot better than the attacking side of the game, in my humble estimation. All right. So, courtesy of Simon Preston, this is the first time Jamaica has won all 3 games in the group stages of the CONCACAF Boys U15 Championship. All right. This is also the first time that Jamaica has recorded 3 clean sheets in the group stages of the CONCACAF Boys Championship. Jamaica ended the group stage with 7 goals in the group stages. This equals the highest number of goals Jamaica scored in the group stages of a CONCACAF Boys U15 Championship. The last time Jamaica did this was 2013 in the Cayman Islands. All right. As the group winners for Group D, Jamaica will play the winner of Group E, which is a group that consists of Bermuda, Barbados, Antigua and Barbuda, and Trinidad and Tobago. So Jamaica will play, I believe, the second place team in that group. Some good players. I think, like I said, the team looked well. Yeah, most successful T20 skipper since Darren Sammy, calm management. So let me ask you this. Marlon Samuels get an OD already? I figure Chris Gayle has. Marlon Samuels, forget OD, man. Marlon Samuels won a World Cup, for the West Indies, boss. Oh, Jason Guna is saying that Jamaica will play. Yeah, Jamaica will play the winner of Group E. Yeah, man, which is the group with Bermuda, Barbados, Antigua, Trinidad, and Tobago. Oh, they'll play the first place team. So it looked like that's what Simon is saying, that Jamaica may finish first. Yeah, but the team looks good. I think. I don't know the conditions, if it is extremely hot, but sometimes they just, and I guess they are kids, they just give away the ball, and then sometimes you see the passing sequences are so precise and good, and then like under no pressure, they just give the ball away. Lots of poor passes, but okay, Marlon Samuels out. Oh yeah, man. Yeah, last one. 2. Yeah. So make sure Marlon Samuels get that, Andre Russell get. I think Andre Russell, we had a Rovman Powell still, My thoughts that, Yeah. And answer parchment, to make sure I say answer parchment have. Tell us some of the sporting people them, Ali Atkinson have already. Yeah. We're not really sure about Wavelines. Wavelines have go wait until he party the power. You know what them things are going already? We have a problem go wait until he party the power. Because sometimes them things is very political, unless you're outstanding. You understand me? I'm more than nomination, man. Come on, we know say I'm more than nominate. Simon, one thing with you know how. All right. You can let's nominate Simon. For what? In other distinction for what, Simon? What we must nominate you? In what category? For late links to watch the game. Because before you send the link, Kerry send it, Before you send the match card, Kerry send it, So we are going to nominate Simon for posting the match cards late for the U15 tournament. It in the rank of late officer. Hey, but listen, we're gonna nominate Kerry James. We're gonna nominate Kerry James for we're gonna nominate Kerry James because Kerry James is at the U15 tournament, providing content and score lines and update, He is the press officer down there, Yeah. Yes. So we're going to nominate Kerry James, on a serious level, for his contribution to sports, man. Yeah, man, Simon, I'm a virgin, man. That's it, we can. Reggae Boys Reactor, happy. Yeah. Happy Independence Day. Surprised that you're all missing the Grand Gala. Okay. It's a Josie Goda. Trolling, yeah. We'll give him a TD. Trolling with distinction. But yeah, man, Kerry James does this for no pay. He's down there in Aruba watching the tournament. Hey, nobody enough to go down. You see, when the team reach out the final, we don't want nobody go down there, no. Just leave the people them down there to go on. You understand me? If they're gonna lift the trophy, let the people down there lift the trophy. Don't, Simon, don't go down there, no. Understand me? But big up to the young U15's. But yeah, and what I like about them, the defense is solid. 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 I'm trying to get Kerry, but he's not at the hotel. I think he's still at one of the venues, probably watching a game or out doing something, because they're trying to get him to come on and just give us a live update. Yeah. But very proud of the young team. But I feel like when it comes on to the U15, a good thing for us to put in as policy, and this is my suggestion, right? Just as an independent person, looking at what happened the last time, which was two years ago, is that because at the U17, you're probably okay, and probably up on the road for real, Jason Guna. Because you're going to probably be bringing players for the U17, why not get like 3 of them like you did? Because remember, the 3 that you had in the team for the U15 played major role in the U17. So it's something that we should do. I don't think it deprives anybody locally. I know it is done through the TDS program, and the TDS is a very, very, I think, a good initiative that the federation has. And Peart is doing a good job with the players at that level. You can see by how they pass and play the ball around. You can see the system. It's clear the type of system that they play defensively, how the wing backs play, the 2 center backs, very good. The goalkeepers are very composed on the ball and stuff. They don't allow a lot of chances. You don't see a lot of teams, this from the 3 games, a lot of teams putting them under immense pressure, because for all the games that they have played, they have led in terms of the percentage in ball possession. Lot of good things. But because some of them, under 17 is every year, you have qualifiers. So an under 17 team should be in preparation now. Like now, they should be in preparation, because the qualifiers are going to be early in next year. So you only have 6 months to prepare, for the next under 17 cycle, Remember that, So you have like 6 months. So there should be, I think, like 3 players in this team from like the Americas who could be in it with the rest of the players that we have. I like the fact that all the players have gotten the minutes as well. And while there can be improvement in different areas, you can see that they are well coached and well drilled. So commendation to the coaches and to the TDS program that has worked. It is something that is working, and something that maybe can be replicated in other parishes, because I think the issue with the TDS is, while it is elite, it is centered around this group. Because once this group is out of it now, what is going to happen? They have a next group coming up. So what happened to this group? Where is the continuity for this batch of under 15s that are going to be 16 years old, because they will not possibly be able to get into an under 17 team, because last under 17 team, right, had Joey Lombardo. They have a good group of players, at least 8 of them, that can come back and play in the under 17s. So that should be a solid unit as well. So I like it. There's still work to be done. And but we need to, like I said, this look like the tedious thing looks like a pathway, but maybe it is something that should be done probably in Western Jamaica. So like, because Mobe has facilities at Catherine Hall, maybe that's a partnership that the JFF could look into. And then instead of, having just 20 kids in Kingston and St. Andrew, you have something down in Western Jamaica that would cover places like St. Elizabeth, Hanover, Westmoreland, St. James, and even Trelawney. I think that is something that the Federation can look at doing. And so we can capture some more talent. If you look at the Haiti team that we played in the under 15, right, where they defeated us, it is a said Haiti team, with Franco and Miguel, those guys that ended up qualifying for the U17 World Cup for Haiti. The same team that defeated us finished third and we finished fourth, ended up qualifying and we didn't. And that game, if you remember the U15, we could have won that game, to be honest. There were some very poor goalkeeping errors that led to us being defeated. And many people believe that part of the reason why we possibly never qualified in the U17 was some poor goalkeeping, and that there were better keeping options available that we never tapped into. All right. Reggae Boys Reactor says, yeah, we need a local U17 squad in preparation throughout the year, adding some heritage players were needed in the final camps. Yeah, but the plan though, but Reggae Boys Reactor, remember, the U17 did not fail because of poor preparation. It is because that the last U17 by now had gone through several camps. So the last U17 did not fail because of poor preparation. We can say poor selection, but it wasn't. The process for the last U17 was very good. I cannot say that if we had them locally, it would be better, because a lot of the camps were kept in Jamaica. So I don't know if preparing a local squad is beneficial, because the process was not the issue. In fact, the players who were local or domestic, they had the opportunity to make the team and didn't. All right. So I hear you, Rob. But sometimes, ideally, would think like this is how football work, where if you have some U10s, you just keep them and you just work with them. That is assuming that the only players who are getting better are the crapper players you have. It is possible, Rob, that you can find many players who are way better than these. So, for example, Rob, say that, and this is, there's a young player, for example, that could, by the end of this year, he could play cup games for Arsenal. He's that good, a centre back, has Jamaican connection. If he says he wants to play for Jamaica, are we going to say no because we have a group of players? This is somebody that could be playing in the EPL at 16. EPL. So while ideally you want to keep the same set of players, it can't work, because remember, you have other players. You have a next player that is at Juventus, who is Jamaican, who could be playing for Juventus this season out of their academy. So we can't say keep the same group all the way up. You may have other players in other spaces that are progressing at a faster rate. You may have even late bloomers that they call them, meaning they weren't good enough in the U15, but the U17, they outshine people in their said position. Big up Gunners, boss. Yeah, man, happy Independence Day to you. And happy Independence Day, Rob Smith. You come in the chat, you doing happy Independence Day, and Rob Smith. You want Dre anyway that sport. No, man. All right. So here's what I'm saying, though. There are players from all across Jamaica, you know. So my issue is not where the players are from. It is that I believe that there are other players. And how are we capturing those players? Yeah, but Rob, here's the issue you're having. How many players you are watching in academies in Europe and in the United States and in Canada who are 15 and 16-year-old that you're watching regularly? How can you can't make a statement like this? Because you don't know the players. You don't know them. You don't know them. When last have you watched Joel Lombardo? How are you going to watch them? So to say you haven't seen many, that is the issue. But they are players. So because we are not seeing them, we need to bring them in. No, bringing them don't mean that they make the team, you know. But the players must be given the opportunity. All I'm saying, the idea that because a team does well at under 14, we should keep them and don't make any changes. Even this under 15 team, some of the players who are only under 14 didn't move on, you know. Check the team. All right, if you go back to last year in Trinidad, there are players who got dropped out and players who came in. Majority of them have stayed, but players have fallen out. Yeah, but all right. So again, let's come back to this. What I'm saying to you, though, Reggae Boys Reactor, we must be honest. The under 17 team was also together. I don't like the idea that, because what you guys are trying to convince me is that our youth teams must be just local players. And let me be honest with you. I don't think Jamaica in this present time can produce a local-based under 17 team that will qualify for the World Cup. I don't think we have. Given what we're competing with in CONCACAF, remember, let us also remember that in this U15, we're not competing with USA, Mexico, Panama, Costa Rica, Canada. We're not competing. We're in Pool B. Hold on. Gunners, boss. Hold on there. We are in League B as well. So we must understand that we are playing lesser teams. So we have to look at how USA is playing, Mexico is playing, Panama, and they then say, can our team beat those teams? So we have to be careful, right, about how we are assessing this. But Rob Smith, I made that point earlier that under 15 team that you speak of, the center back was from North America. Kadriana Marsh, who was a winger, was from also, who were part of the under 17. So I'm trying to get the point you're making. Gunners, boss. Happy Independence Day. Yeah, man. Welcome to the show. What's going on?
We We're not independent. We're dependent, man. We're not doing nothing independent.
When you say we dependent, who you speak of?
Jamaica, me talk about.
So
We never say independent, you know. I say happy dependent here.
So what do you mean by we dependent? Explain that to me.
Then remember, you know, we under some people rule, and we just spend them pounds and them euros and them whatever, and we never have to pay to get visa and them things that we go to them country. And we have a governor general, right? And that we can't talk about now, but since you got here, we could talk about it for a minute. No. 1960, whenever we say we take independence, so we print $1. We don't have $1 right now because it's very devalued. We have to start pay for visa to go to England and these places. We say, and then we take independence from. But them still have a watchdog, them still have a governor general. So why an independent nation have a governor general? That is my question here that is concerned. We still dependent. Because we now produce, so we still depend on, even though America and the rest of the world depend to purchase from other people and however them do them thing. We more dependent with than most of these nations. Because we now produce
America don't buy things from other countries.
Why you go? I know that Mr. Boss, man.
So
I said they purchase, but we don't really purchase nothing. No, we get most of the things we get them, we borrow them, you know.
What do you mean, sir?
Alone, we borrow them, you know, and credit them, you know. America, them buy arms credit too. Let me start with foolishness, man. So, let me start with foolishness, man. Let me done with that, sir.
Okay.
So, you always want to drag me down some road, I don't really want to, like, dependent, man. But you want, Dino, 117, up. Rob Smith, I pure foolishness you attack on the show. I'm going to address your thing now. And you should have heard that team the way you said their name. Reggae Boy reaction. Or whatever their name. If a Reggae Boy is wait for to react to, you better go find a work because Reggae Boy is not yet here. You better go look at work or go just post reaction or reaction. No, man. Why sometimes you pass the good comments them we all man like Duckland instead of them.
But Duckland not in the chat.
Sure, hold on, man. Not talk about all the time. You're talking in general and sure improvement and them people that make some good comments. And you pass those comments to go talk some like a foolishness where Rob Smith already Reggae Boy reaction at talk about. Number one, the man them say we have an under 17 team. And we're supposed to take 23 little youth, put them in our camp, and carry them, go train them to play from under 50 all the way up. So by we doing that, what about the rest of the youth them will play football across the country? No, we don't have, you're never going to have a fixed national team because players going to fall in and players going to fall out. The players them to stay with them there and play and develop them talent. And when we're ready, we send we scout to go look for them and who we have in our academy and whoever, and we pick the best 23-man squad. We don't stop that foolishness.
And man,
we need to put them and keep them together.
So Rob say you need to speak your point and stop call up him name.
Rob, you are talking at the comment, you make public comment for everybody. If your feelings hurt, sorry for you. Put a band-aid on it. But are you attack or you attack to, how much are we up on the chat right now? You attack to 70 people over here. So once you make a comment over here, you see it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You type too much. And that you do. Me I look on 10 of your comments right in front of me there. So the other people them have 1 and 2. You type too much. You still a type there. You still a type there. How you type so much? Call in and talk. How you have a feminine voice so you can't make your voice be heard. Call in and talk. Because I pay foolishness to no attack. Every day on every channel, I type one bag of foolishness. And man sit down and waste good people coming to read the foolishness they want to ask. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to look at work somehow now. Oh, to know everything Reggae Boys in the part. Now if we put a Reggae Boys on a 13 team, a under 7 Reggae Boys team, and them the kind of mentality they don't know how to say. That's why if you don't go type, that's why nobody type in a comment section. Because you know see things foolishly, that me call for talk about man. Because me I read the comment them, I mean, if you appear foolish with the people them attack.
So all I'm saying that, all right, so give us some make sense comments now. Go ahead, your time. Don't tell me what you're saying that makes sense. Go ahead now. Yeah.
I am saying the youths across Jamaica where I play football need, or you talk to some, maybe me I watch the screen, let me black out the screen. The people, the youth, them will play football down at Manchester. And the youth, them will play down at Westmoreland. The youth, them will play Montego Bay. And the youth, them will play Scrap St. Thomas and wherever. We don't need to put all of the best youth them in a one little team and say, yes, at the 50, at the 23, best 15-year-olds and make them play together and all of that. No, them play we spot them there, we go look the best of them when we're ready to build a team and build a team. This is not college. This is not high school.
Okay.
This is not college or high school, you know. Where KC recruit 23 youths and have them play together, you know. For that, you know. And for how much year them got high school for and play football for, you know. This is a youth national team. National team consists of the best players from across the country and the diaspora. I believe more from locally and a few of the better ones from the diaspora. And that's my thing. Me no make no sense, but me no call to make sense, but me just know say a foolishness the man them a type 50 times in the comment section. Yeah.
All right, so.
And you choose my good earrings. Yes, no. Make me all have all I put all clapping all up in my ears so it pain when me I get pan dependent here from the man them I read to them comment.
Okay.
Big up on yourself. Rob Smith. Put a band-aid on your hurt. I'm back in the comment section. So you can call in now and make we hear it have a feminine voice like Duckland or you sound like a real man. Big up yourself, manins man. Enjoy the rest of the holiday who are going for party tonight and who party already gonna be safe and stay safe and be blessed. We don't want to hear no bad news about none of our friends them from the night. No, forever more to that. Me don't need no friend, brother. We are talking about me need a friend. Me have my son
downstairs, boss.
Big up yourself, balance man. God, you know make it so bad.
Yes. I'm confused. I am confused. I don't know. I don't. Where is I? Where was I? What was I? What was I saying? You remember? What was the point? What was the point I was making? I don't remember. Anyways, we're going to go move on to the next. God has boss confused me. But I'm sure. I'm not sure where I was before the call. All right. So but again, congratulations to the under 15. We only can, big them up for the success that they are having. All right. And keep on supporting them. All right. Yeah, but I don't remember what was the last point I was on. So I'm going to go to the second topic, which is no major sponsorship in the World Cup year. All right. I have not yet heard of any major sponsorship for the Reggae Boys with 6 games remaining. You know, I'm talking about major sponsorship, like companies coming on to 100 million and 50 million sponsorship, that kind of a thing. I have not been hearing. Oh, that no man, how would that I can't no sir. Cataract, I can't cataract that a bag food. Cataract, no man, somebody I use cataract name. Because as far as I know, cataract must the for the campaign trail. I don't cataract that. Or somebody, you need blame. Maybe somebody I use him name still call the people them. No man, that's not him sure improvement. Yeah. Yeah, it's not him, man. Somebody probably, because sometimes when we do that, sometimes people We use Cataract name and get him no problem, man. And I really him. But I know him, man. Cataract up on the campaign trail, man. I in the Grand Gala wait for him national award. I him, man. I him, man. They were checking from the campaign trail. I him, man. Yeah, man. Boy, when I work, but piss I work together. I'm a person up on the campaign trail together, you know. And Teddy Lee great. But I'm very surprised though, and I'm going to do these two in sort of one. Because I'm not hearing like 100 million sponsorship, $50 million sponsorship, right? I saw this Sunshine Sinach deal, and you're not hearing millions of dollars, and you're thinking like the most attractive time would be like no, because if I have a product and the value of the product increases, then the cost for getting it is going to increase. So once the reggae boys qualify now, those who are coming on to be sponsors and partners is going to cost them a whole lot. Mr. Price, still big up yourself. I want the time come here, boss. Time come. I'm out. Hey, Cataract, you need to call in and tell us what going on the campaign, you know. You need to hear from you, you need to give them some ideas. And big up Coach Bidzi, Happy Independence, man. We need Johnny Powell, Happy Independence. Nitro, problem known, and Nitro has arrived. But Rob, you don't know how much Adidas sponsorship is? What I'm saying, Rob, I have not heard. I'm sorry, I'm gonna understand. Like Rob, I have not heard of any major 100 million, 50 million sponsorship coming on board this year. What are you talking about? Rob, let me make my statement again. I have not heard of any major sponsorship coming in. 100 millions or 50 millions, 50 million type of sponsorship in a World Cup year. I don't understand what you're saying. If you talking about us not knowing the Adidas is again cementing my point. So I don't understand you. So my thing is, big up to those who have come on board. What I am saying though, if I have a product, right? And today, thank you, Jason Guna. That's what I'm saying, sir. Thank you. And I say today, it is value $1 million. But tomorrow, it because of scarcity and demand, the value gone from $1 million to $10 million, you know. All I'm saying is fine, maybe corporate Jamaica the qualification come. Those who come on board should have a high cost to pay. Because now you would want to believe that everybody is going to want to come on board. And now you control the value of your product. The issue is why. And let me just bring it a little further, because that is why I said I wanted to tie. And I want to hear from you. Why isn't there? So people can say that you have to separate people. Let me say this. You have to separate the administration from the team. If a wise businessman look at the prospects of this and say that even with, if you want to say the administration is poor, when you look at the group that Jamaica is in, a good businessman could look at that and say, this team can still qualify. That is the point. So what happens sometimes, because administratively, you may not like certain things, you kind of dismiss the fact that the team, when you think about some of the names that you have heard around the Jamaica team, say you have the Mason Greenwood and the all the other players that you have been hearing about, the Tyree, the Rico Henry, the Malik Mothersill, all of these players coming in and being a part of the team. When you consider those things, you want to believe that this team and potential can qualify. That's a big prospect. The fact that there is no sponsorship coming in. I'm going to go a little further to say this. I've heard several sporting bodies, even the basketball team, complaining about lack of funding. This is a basketball team with NBA players wanting to represent Jamaica. Right? So, I don't think the team is poor. You and I differ on that, Nitro. I don't like, when I say poor, what you mean? The first thing, when I say the team is poor, what you mean? When somebody says the team is poor, I disagree with anyone who says the Jamaican team is poor. If you are going to look at the Jamaican team and say they are inferior in standard and quality, I disagree with that. The team has had some poor performances. But to use the term poor to describe the Jamaica team, because if you say that, then the teams that we are going to play against are what then? The teams in our group are what then? And okay, why then are track and field people having, hey, Nitro, don't tell me that. I have persons in here, Nitro, that were at the thing that they had, were at the camps and things. So you can't tell me that, Nitro. There's no money going in there. So I can tell you, Netball Jamaica, they're not getting any money, boss. The volleyball team that went away and did well, struggling, boss. No, fine, Nitro. No, you and I can agree. The Gold Cup performances were poor. But to say the team is poor is I don't want to use that word, is not accurate. Again, Nitro, tell me the last time, based on what Curacao is better, Nitro, based on what? Like, this is where now, like, I'd love for you to call in. All right, we will see Rob Smith. You know, Rob, one thing I know, there were two persons that were there. So you and Nitro were not there. So I am telling you from people who were there. So you can't, so we're not going to go any further with that. You can agree with Nitro, I don't. On the basketball thing. You and Nitro can agree, I don't. So you agree with him. So, all right, Nitro, what I'd love for you to do is tell me how Curacao is better than Jamaica. What has Curacao done for them to be better than Jamaica? In fact, Jamaica played Curacao under 15 today and beat them as well. So you tell me in football, what has Curacao done for you to say that Curacao is better than Jamaica? What? We have a better record against them than they have against us. We are ranked higher than them. So explain to me, like, what do you use to determine that? That's what I want to know. All right, so Curacao did well versus Canada in the Gold Cup. What was the result of the game? Make me work with some things. Huh? What was the result of Curacao last game against Canada? And what was the result of Jamaica's last game against Canada? Let's look at those things. But there are Dutch players in the U15 as well. So Rob, Nitro, you said you use their game against Canada. They played Canada, the game drew. What was the result of Jamaica's last game against them? So maybe you're right, but don't just come and say they're better than us. What are you using that to say Curacao is better than Jamaica? You know football, You know football, Curacao rising in the ranking. Are they ranked higher than what are you can't use ranking, because if you use ranking, Jamaica is ranked higher than them. Tell me a point where Curacao was ranked higher than Jamaica. So now you're changing. Say you're not comparing then. So you're saying that when did Jamaica have a good coach? Because it's not since Hal Grimson, Jamaica and Curacao playing. When Tapa was there, Jamaica and Curacao was playing. So again, Nitro, you have to explain, because so far, all you can say is Curacao is better than Jamaica. You haven't raised, in my opinion, anything to suggest that they are. What are the matrices you're using to determine that? And I'm saying to you, maybe they are better, but prove it to me that they are. What trend in the ranking though? Where is Curacao ranked right now? Seeing that you're using, where is Curacao ranked? Who is the number one ranked team in the entire region right now? And where are Curacao ranked right now? No, man, we have to show respect to our opponent, but we don't have to disrespect our own to show respect for others. For you to come and say that the Jamaica team is poor and Curacao is better than us, that is disrespecting. What will I see? No, man, you made a point. Don't tell me that I will see it. You need to explain your point. I didn't say I disagree with you, but you can't even prove your point. Where is Curacao ranked? Where is Jamaica ranked? So the issue I have is that everyone must respect. As a Jamaican, Jamaicans are telling me that I need to respect my opponent and I need to big them up. But when it comes to my own people, they are poor and they are this. Why must I do that? Why must I call my national team a poor team and every other team is better than us? Why? When there's nothing to prove it. And when I say that my team is not poor, it's an issue. But other people can come and say that the team is poor and that is not an issue. And they can't prove it. So you need to prove it. All you have to do is to prove it. Because maybe if you can prove it, Nitro, people will believe you. So you can prove it. Nobody's saying that you're wrong. But prove it. Anyways, but I think there's a serious issue in Jamaica because people talk about there's no value in it, but there's value in track and field, and they have the same issues. The Pan Am team is having issues with sponsorship. Can you imagine that? This is a Pan Am team with a lot of our top athletes, Alana Reid and these guys, and there's still issues. This is track and field, netball. You understand me? Netball having the same issue. I don't know. Volleyball having the same issue. So what is it? That's what I want to find out. Drew, call and tell me now, man. You're a KC, man. What is the issue with sponsorship in Jamaica and sports? Dre, I didn't want you to say anything, me just gonna leave Nitro and Rob to agree because I know we know we talk and we know what was going on and why certain things cannot be done. So when people are saying stuff, you understand me? Yeah, because it's not like people you think track and field don't have these issues? All right. So let me take this one. There is not enough. Yeah. There are too many teams needing sponsorship. All right, true. There's not enough money to go around for everyone. That's a good point. But the Trinidad and Tobago says the informed assessment is the League A teams are elite teams and performs as such. And most of the League B and C teams are performing at grassroots level. Okay. What I will say, Andre, is that the last time around, Jamaica was in League A and finished fourth in League A. I believe that because they brought in a guest team who helped to sponsor the tournament from way over so a whole heap of money there, Jamaica was the easiest team to kick out still. That are my thoughts. Triple E, are there studies done regarding corporate sponsorship? I'd love somebody. Maybe we need to get some of our university students to do this. Why? Because is it that they don't get back when they put money in track and field? Means you know this. Do sponsors get back money when they pump money in track and field? When they pump money in football, are the returns good? Because at the end of the day, people running their businesses. And so if when they are going to put money in football and in basketball and in netball and track and field, they're not getting their monies. Yeah. I don't know. Because if there was one sporting body Coach Mizzy says if they're not getting returns, contract cut. Gunners Boss says, I don't know. Hey, Gunners Boss, me think if you type, I don't know if the sports are marketed enough. Plus, corporate sponsorship comes with success. NCAA gets a few billionaires from television-rich alumni like Jerry Jones of Arkansas and Purdue Chick. Gunners Boss, we have to understand that while there are many principles we can learn from the American culture, I always tell people the kickbacks for sponsorship in America will always be greater than in Jamaica, especially with products and services because of bigger market space. I think it is what we have to look at is other Caribbean territories or other nations, probably outside of Europe, because the thing is that the European market is vast, even if you're a little space. What I don't understand is it's hard for me to use the American example and module to kind of determine how things work in Jamaica. That is a struggle I have because I feel like it is so different in terms of population size and accessibility and all of that. Rob says, I think one of the issues we ignore is that sports is not generating revenue in Jamaica. There you go, Rob. Good point. There is not enough return as they would be bearing down the door. I think this is it. Like, if I give, say I decide to sponsor the JPL, and I run an apparel company, there's no guarantee that anybody who watches the JPL is going to even buy my apparel. If I run a telecommunication company and I sponsor $1 million, how many of those persons are going to come and buy cell phones because I sponsor the league? This is where I think it is, Rob. I don't think the people involved in the sport is enough to make that business strive. Unless are some of the financial institution where people are putting their monies in the bank. I don't know. The market in Jamaica is too small. There you go. Hey, Henry, very good point. The sponsors would only admit money if they have an international product, such sandals and JN market. Yeah, good point. Good point. Good point. Good point. Good point. Tax write-off. You know what I'm trying to figure out? I see a comment that I'm going to take up. Management, do you remember the same narrative with Suriname and how they are going to beat Jamaica? This is the same. Yeah, man. It's always, listen, Mr. Porter, when there are some people. Listen, I have a friend from Suriname. Even help with Jamaica, the U17. You will listen if Suriname puts some pigs who can look up to play against Jamaica, he still believes Suriname is going to beat Jamaica. I can't understand how Jamaican always believe that other people are better than them. I don't know what is in our mindset. Like we always want to put others above our own. And the same thing in the vlogging. There are many people who they would give greater support to even vloggers who are not Jamaicans than Jamaican vloggers because they don't think there's any value in anybody Jamaican. I cannot understand that you have nothing to prove that a team is better than your country, but you're saying your country is poor. We're talking football, poor. And the poor mean unsatisfactory standards, low quality. How could I ever say this Jamaican team has low quality? The team has played some poor games. I don't know why we think like that, boss. Richard Green says in Canada they donate to grassroots sports, especially. Yeah. But I saw this comment. All right. So what I want to find out is this is Triple E said. So obviously these companies have money because they pump money into certain entertainment event. All right. So why do people put money in some of these big parties over like big track and field stuff, big football stuff? What would I love somebody call and explain that to me? Because I'm trying to wrap my head around it, Because I think it's a serious problem. Yeah. Because obviously there is money because other things are being sponsored. But let me just say this. Please note that this is not general because there are companies. Let's go back to the original premise because sometimes we miss the original premise, It is not that companies don't sponsor, but what we are saying is we have not, right, seen multi-million dollars sponsorship. Yeah. Canada was on the brink of bankruptcy, hosting the World Cup, bailed them out with lots of sponsors coming. You see all those things? No, this is one of the things I want to talk about. Because do you remember when Jamaica hosted the World Junior Athletics Championship at the National Stadium? Anybody remember that? That the stadium was packed when Simone Facey, Karen Stewart, Anisha McClacken, and Sharon Simpson won the 4x1. Anybody? I think Hooker and Facey were Hooker from America. Anybody? The U20 Championship in 2022. Lots of work was done on Stadium East, National Stadium. At the time, it was profitable. I think why Jamaica can't host a what is VBC? Joe. I'm gonna beat Drew Russell. What is VBC? Or is VCB? Man, it's VCB, I mean, you know. Verica Campbell Brown was the issue wasn't there. It was Facey, Karen Stewart, I don't know, Anisha McCloughin, and Sharon Simpson. I don't think Veronica was there. But you don't see you're making her a point. Listen what you just said. Listen what you just said, Nitro. I'm telling you again. So this is the point, you know. Listen what you just said. Jamaica had, watch this, the largest drop in the last FIFA ranking. 7 places. And we're still 16 places ahead of Curacao. And they move 4. So that's a 21 places move. And they're still not close to us, boss. So when you look at ranking, you have to look also at opponents. You have to do that as well. Has the Jamaican team been consistent? No. But let me ask you a question. Tell me the last time a team from the Caribbean defeated Jamaica in an official game, Nitro. Just tell me that. When was the last time, Nitro? No, but I even heard there was some fest. All right, Drew, big up yourself. I'm just asking, sir. We have pressure here. Bolt, yeah. Bolt, Jeremy and Gonzalez, Melanie Walker, yeah, man. Yeah, Jamaica, they win a heap of medal there at this. So I think we need to look at hosting one of these football things. Hey, Jesse, they wanna try and fight me. How did defender bail? How did defender bail us out in March? How did defender bail us out? How? We didn't we convincingly defeat St. Vincent in Jamaica, boss? How did they bail us out? Come on, man. And I like how you see how you people are. Nitro, I'm telling you, you can't win this conversation. Last comment me, I'll give you to it. So you are talking about the improvement. Let me tell you how your people are. People like you, Nitro. You are here talking about the improvement and the growth. Watch this. Of Curacao. Do you realize how far? Do you realize? Do you realize? Do you realize? Do you realize? Do you realize how St. Vincent and the Grenadines have also grown? Go and check out St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So while you want to give Curacao for their movement and their growth and their improvement, give it to St. Vincent and the Grenadines too. But not only that, you speak of the... So say we got one love. What was the scoreline in Jamaica? So according to you, this no good, poor, below standard Jamaican team, right? Don't tell him, Simon, don't tell him that St. Lucia beat them, man. Don't tell him these things. So, because him think him have point. So, remember the Jamaica team is poor. So, we the poor Jamaica team, the no-quality Jamaica team, the below standard Jamaica team, because that is the word they use to describe us, you know. Right? The said team defeated St. Vincent. Why we can't defeat? Why the same poor, non-quality, non-good Jamaican team can defeat other team? Nitro. If we do it before. We have the same poor quality, non-good Jamaica team defeated Canada in Canada. Nitro. When last has a Caribbean? Somebody, Nitro. The next comment you make. Tell me the last time a Caribbean team and which Caribbean team defeated Jamaica in an official game. Tell me that. The last time Jamaica lost, right? A game against a Caribbean team and the name of the Caribbean team. Argument done. When you put up that, then later. Yeah. So, Simon, you answered all of them. Simon, we answer the question them for man. I'm to Simon, man. Hey, what time you out, you know, Simon? You keep answering the question. Make Nitro answer the question them, no, man. Make him answer the question them, man. Because the point I'm making, good or bad, while Jamaica is the poorest team in the Caribbean, we are below standard and below quality. The rest of the Caribbean team, them, can't beat we. As poor as we are, they still struggle to beat us. As no good as we are, they still struggle to beat us. While we are worse than all of them still, that is from Suriname to Curacao to Aruba to French Guyana to Guadeloupe to Martinique. All of them. We are the worst, you know, but them still struggle to beat us. We are the worst and we still rank higher than them. We are the worst and none of them have been ranked higher than us, except for Trinidad. None of them. I'm talking about the FIFA ranking, boss. I'm not giving them motivation because according to Nitro, as Jamaicans, we must settle with Jamaica being the worst team and poor team and all of that. So we are poor. We are not a good team. We are poor. We are below standards. But why we are below standard? Why they haven't been beating us? Why St. Vincent don't beat us? Why Suriname has not been beating us? These teams should be giving us 6 and 5 because we are poor. We are not good. Trinidad should be beating us easy. Haiti should be beating us easily because we are not good. Cuba should be beating us. We are not good. We are poor. You lose the argument, so you better done. Hey, that's I'm gonna leave you. Better come here right now. Me done. But on a serious note, why are all the sporting bodies struggling to find funding? I think what his name? What is the span on Downtown Record even mentioned of moving a lot of their events outside of Jamaica because they're saying the cost of putting on the events in Jamaica is so much and they don't get a lot of sponsorship. I figure they make back their money because of all the ticket sales and, you know, the online stuff. No, A.M. Henry, nobody was saying that. Nobody was saying that. All right? But here's the issue. There are persons who believe nobody has a right to say Jamaica is going to win. The only right Jamaicans have is to say that their national team is going to lose every game. Because if you say your team is going to win, something is wrong with you. All I am saying is that when you come on, like Nitro did, and said that the Jamaican team is poor, P-O-O-R, what my understanding of that word in terms of definition is of a low or inferior standard or quality. That's all I'm saying. So when you come out and you say that, when somebody says Jamaica is going to win and people have a problem with that, I have a problem with that. It's okay for you to believe that Jamaica is going to lose, A.M. Henry. We don't have to argue about it. But why do you want to argue with me if I believe Jamaica is going to win? Why the only view that is accepted is the view that Jamaica is no good and we're going to lose? Why that has to be the only view? Why that has to be the only view? Allow the people who said Jamaica are going to win to say Jamaica are going to win. It's very simple. That is it, you know. So in the same way somebody can say that the team is poor, there are people who can say Suriname is poor. People can say Curacao is poor, Trinidad is poor. People have a right too. It's not just, so some Jamaicans are always going to say the Jamaica team is poor. But they have a problem when people say that other nations' team are poor. Why? That is my issue, you know. There's only one view some people expect, and that is a view that aligns with theirs. That is the issue I have. So I said to Nitro, maybe you're right. Prove to me that you're right. He hasn't proven so. Joe, what I want to find out is, all right, what I want to find out is why there is money to put into entertainment. Are the returns on sponsorship in the entertainment industry way more than the returns when there is sporting success? That is what I want to know. Yeah, but I feel like when I think about like track and field, for example, I think like millions should be being pumped. Listen, with Kishane, that's one. Oblique Seville, Blake, Level. I mean, there's a next generation of male sprinters because the standard kind of fell a little bit after the Usain Bolt, Freighter, Nesta Carter, Asafa Powell, Ewan Blake, Warren Weir, that whole group of them. But the standard is rising again, where we have elite sprinters. I think Jamaica has some of the fastest men in the world now when they talk about the top 20 fastest times, right? So my point is, isn't now a good time for people to be pumping money into track and field with World Championships coming up in September? I don't hear the J3 coming up. All right, so Dre, all right, so when you say are our teams marketable, what makes a team marketable? We need somebody to talk to me. What are the things that determines a team marketability? For example, do you know, let me give you an example. You know that Adidas makes jerseys for Manchester. Now they make for Liverpool. Think they make for Chelsea? Which are the top? Newcastle. Giving some of the top 4 teams. But you know that the Arsenal jersey is like their third kit, like for this year, is like no other team kind of get some of the stuff that Arsenal gets. On their jersey. So is it that Arsenal is a more marketable club? Is that it? Or they just have more fans? So I think for Chelsea, Nike sponsor Chelsea. They used to be Adidas one time, but it's not now. Cool. So here's what I think. I don't think our sports have enough fans that a sponsor believe that the sheer number of fans for this particular sport would be able to cause me to increase. No, I don't know. You have to ask Jason Guna if Arsenal sell more jerseys than Manchester United. Because Manchester United is still the most popular club in England. So I don't think like track and field has 1 million people on the island who support it. Or football. I think the amount of footballer fans that are out there are so little that if I'm going to put money in it, I'm thinking like this is probably in Jamaica, probably under 100,000 people who really love the game. In Jamaica. You can say probably when you add the States and Canada, you probably have 100,000 Jamaicans. Is that worth my investment? I don't think the teams have enough fan support. So when a person put money into Arsenal, they know that Arsenal has a global reach of millions. Manchester has a global reach of millions. Man City. I don't think Jamaica's sports carry that kind of a weight. I think Brazil does. We're talking about sports in general. You see again, you see a youth sport team. You see a youth sport team. Even when Jamaica was beating Canada, even when time Jamaica was going to Gold Cup final, they were having the same issues. So they were still poor. When they were beating USA and going to Gold Cup final and beating Mexico, going to Gold Cup finals, they were still poor because they weren't getting any. Nitro, sometimes I think say you're just talking on Nitro. All right, boss. I'll leave you alone. That is your opinion. Like I think somebody answered it earlier. I think who was it that told you that I think the Saudi has a big listen. You look at the attendance in those places, man, and even when the English Premier League clubs go to those places, they kind of see. And like I said, I believe they have more money to go around than even in Jamaica and stuff. Like the Jamaican population don't have a lot of money to go around. It's kind of funny, for example, does Caribbean Airlines support or sponsor any Caribbean country? That's an interesting question. Caribbean Airlines, do they sponsor or support? And people always talk about the big oil companies, well, in Guyana and stuff. It looks like they pump a lot of their money into. Oh, they sponsor the CPL. Okay. I know they talk about all the oil in Guyana and they just found some new oil, but I suspect a lot of that goes into cricket. What other major industry is in the Caribbean? Like what other major like industry is in the Caribbean that we can say that this would be a good company to come on board and sponsor because they would get a lot of benefit across the Caribbean? What yeah. What kind of oil cooking oil we find? In R&R, most cooking oil we find in Jamaica. Some people say Sandals Hotel. You see, I think this is a good one, you know. The problem with Sandals Hotel is that Sandals Hotel would do sponsorship. I believe that would then have teams stay at their properties. They offer all-inclusives, and I don't think a lot of teams want to stay in all-inclusive. I don't think teams like to be in those kind of hotel settings. Grace? Yeah, I think Grace do their share of sponsorship. Tourism. Let me read this one. There is an expectation and practice for corporations to engage in corporate social responsibility, CSR, which often includes supporting sports, particular at the grassroots level. Good point. Then Richard Green says that Chinese company, that Lord of mercy, that the PNP give them 12 acres of land should give something back. China have a check. Yeah, why check? Yeah, like I'll check now. Check not supposed to can. Hey, no, but you know, so check did build a stadium though. Wasn't check who built the stadium down in Sligoville that came to naught. I think check built the stadium in Sligoville, you know. Yeah. I think this is a good one. And I think they were they were a part of the sponsorship of the JPL, you know. Yeah, man, it wasn't it check that bill. Yeah, I think it was check that bill, the stadium in Sligoville. I think so. Could be wrong. Yeah. Yeah, check doing a major development down in St. Antonio on that highway where they get all the land. But isn't Czech also responsible for the part of the highway from Portland and St. Thomas and them places there? That big stretch from where the Harbor View roundabout, Dre anyway that sports is that's true, you know. And what about that French company, Bouygues Travel Public? Them still in Jamaica. They were the ones who built the original highway. So I think we need to. I think this is a good idea. Like people like check, but I think Sandals would be a good. But I figure that the kickback for Sandals would be, the team staying at their hotels when they travel. But will the team stay at Sandals? Can the teams even afford to stay at Sandals? Because Sandal prices are like, you know, probably way high, you know, for Caribbean teams to stay at their hotels, and they're also all inclusives, which could be distracting for players and for team. And so maybe they need to look at having parts of the hotel that is designated during like World Cup campaign for teams to stay at, you know. Maybe Sandal should look into that. And then they can be a major sponsor because now you have Caribbean coverage and stuff in all the territories that you have properties. Yeah. Come on, people. We have 20 minutes to go before the show ends. We have 65 likes. Like to get it to 100. All right. What do you mean by distracting? Because you're too you don't want a team, like, even when you go to major tournaments, they don't go to hotels. A lot of the teams don't stay in hotels with access to beach and, entertainment and those stuff, because you're going there for a tournament. So you don't have, like, because sometimes when teams travel, who is this? Chorus. Remember, you want them to be in an entire block. The bigger properties have multiple rooms. So for you to take a block for yourself, it's very pricey, because what you don't want is, because it's a hotel, you want to control all the rooms in a particular area. Those things avoid, like I said, just distraction. Players interacting with guests interacting with players. You don't know who is going to come on the hotel, right? Your dining area may be invaded. You can imagine, like, for example, Brazil staying at the Rio Hotel in Jamaica and stuff. It just think about that. Like, let's use not Brazil. Let's use France. The problems the players would have just to be free from the harassment of people. Princess Hotel, yeah, maybe this is a new hotel chain. So yeah. But then Nitro, the question Princess Hotel would ask is, if I do this, how does it benefit me? Oh, Jesus. What kind of hedonism business this man talk about, man? What wrong with R&R, man? Why not behaving yourself on this independence night, man? Behaving yourself, man. Chum, man. If you have not yet hit the like button, go ahead and do so. Hit the like button. Not the die button, but the like button. Yeah. But I think too much of our sporting bodies, though, are struggling in the area of funding. And I've long said this. Yeah, man. I hear that he's in Mobile. But, like when these players come in, they have to come in on the cover night and hide themselves, Yeah. When they come in, they try to hide themselves. I feel like, what's his name, going to play for Jamaica too, Reese Nelson going to play for Jamaica this year, because he was out here. Bigger is not a big brand, man. I don't even know if Jamaican people. What I like, listen. You see, like companies like Pepsi. I think that's the next one. But I guess they have local distributors. Yeah. Digicel, look like Digicel just come out of Sportsmax business. Don't look like yeah. Okay. Yeah, Westinco control the whole of that, man. Westinco, I think Westinco sponsor, because Westinco no deal with water as well. Yeah. And by the way, man, is that new kid from the academy. Oh, you're talking Max Darman, I say him name. Him bad man, me watch him to them man, yeah man. Like Nitro, you know, say Nitro when you talk about other things than them. You look at you sound like the intelligent person that you are now. So anytime I wonder about Nitro, you see, anytime you have the 69 and your name, me realize you talk some madness, you know. No man. Oh, which Rio from you talk the youth from Liverpool better than which one I soccer them man. That you done better than Max Darman, the 15-year-old at Arsenal. The biggest thing right now, the biggest 15-year-old in the world right now. Me are telling you see Arsenal in there. No joke. And the best 15-year-old, 16-year-old centre back at Arsenal in there too. Permert is a work. Eh. No AM, Henry. They were not a sponsor. I think American Airlines is a company that needs to be approached because, listen, the World Cup, no, remember, you can't play, no. When you're 15, you can't play in the Premier League. I think you have to be 16 to play in the Premier League. I think that is the age. But, yeah, I think American Airlines would be a good sponsor to come on board. Maybe at qualification they will do that. But I think that would be a big one because the World Cup is in America. In Jamaica qualify, that would be good. Qualification is not a guarantee, you know. We all anticipate Jamaica is going to qualify. I believe so. But nothing in life is a guarantee. You have to work for everything that you have. And if you win every game by one and you go through, you qualify. You understand me? Because one thing I've learned, and this is what people tell me, the people who don't support Arsenal, they laugh at me. Because when Arsenal play the best football, when they come on to build up play, you watch some of the goals that Arsenal score. And then they say, what you have? You finish second. Ha, 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 ha. You win second place trophy, your team no good. At the end of the day, people always laugh at Arsenal and say, oh, you think pretty football with nothing? Show me a title. Listen, all Jamaica need to do is to win the games. If they score one goal in each game and qualify and don't concede any, and they qualify, that's good. If they have 10% possession and win the games, that is good. At the end of the day, it is the victory that makes the difference. You hear? Call them poor and call them scrappy. It no matter. What matters most is getting the victory. Because now that's gonna laugh off of me every time man say, pretty football Arsenal play. To finish second. Yeah. Yeah, man. What does the rule say? I don't think Jason Guna, the rule says he cannot play until he's 16, right? He cannot play in the Premier League, but he can play in cup games. Big up Dr. Dan. General over there in San Fran. Bless up, man. Yeah. But I think he can play in cup games at 15. But I just to segue a little bit in the Premier League, I think Manchester United had their forward acquisition very good. Cunha, Mbuemo, and Sesko, 3 good acquisitions. I still believe that they are light in the middle and their two wing backs are poor. And they still have to work out their goalkeeping thing. But with Bruno and those three, Manchester United are going to pose a threat this season. All right. I think Arsenal, very good team, don't watch preseason. But I believe that Arsenal, I would get Eze at my team. And I want Reese to play some football, so I'd agree with them selling him. Sambi Lakanga, they can sell him as well. They can also sell Vieira. That's 3. And that's supposed to can pay for Eze. I also think Jakob Kiwior can be sold as well. Because they have Califior can play there and Gabriel. And if they can get Zivchenko sold, that would be good. I think they can sell Gabriel Jesus in January. And the team will be good. Yeah. Okay, so American Airlines and okay. All right, thank you, KW Media. I appreciate that. So they're already part of the sponsorship. So that way they mean that they won't be, They won't be like sponsoring individual teams. Okay, makes sense. Eight minutes to go. Before the end of the show. Remember Ali Cup and another Folly Cup. Yeah, man, every year them do it, man. It's bad, man, the light show. All right, we have one call before the show ends. We have the man from the Twin Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome to the show, Mr. Fortune.
How you doing, man?
Yeah.
You calling me? You calling me whatever you want.
I didn't call any name, man. I just said the man from Trinidad and Tobago, the Twin Republic.
I want to go back. I wanted to give a quick call. I've been in Reggae Boys Reactor. Have been engaging me here. But I want to go back to the U15's. I want to go back to the U15's. You mind?
No, man, you can go. Not a problem.
And I'm not speaking specifically about Jamaica. So to everybody who in the comment section that want to lose their mind, I'm speaking about the tournament itself. Have you been watching League A games?
Yeah, the League A team. To me, this is my opinion. The only team I see in League B, and I've watched several of the League B games, and I've watched less of the League A games. I think Jamaica could compete in League A.
I don't because I understand the emotions. Because I understand the emotions, I don't want to discuss Jamaica. I think what I would say is what I said earlier, that the teams in League A, they are elite teams. Right? And you could see it in their performances. I think most of the teams is playing at the grassroots level. When you look at the games, you're not seeing passes, them connecting passes consistently. You're not seeing good shape in attack, shape in defense. You're not seeing the same things that you're seeing with the League A teams. And I think we need to acknowledge that, because if we say that if we say that the teams in League B and C is similar to what we've seen in League A, I don't think that that's realistic. I think we gotta have something to strive for.
All right.
So I watched Trinidad today, and I watched them yesterday, right? And they won the both games, but I don't think most of the teams in League A, I think it will be a struggle to get a result against them.
So let me say this again. Because remember, Jamaica, I think CONCACAF, how CONCACAF did this was wrong. Jamaica were in the top 4 2 years ago. So remember, I know they use the under 17 ranking to determine who plays in League A and in League B. So,
okay,
if Jamaica had qualified for the World Cup, one of the teams you are seeing in League A would have been in League B, and Jamaica would have been there. So that's the first point I want to make. So I don't necessarily agree that all the teams in League A are better than all the teams in League B.
Okay, hold on a minute. The rules for placing the teams in League A, B, and C, did it apply only to Jamaica, or did it apply to everybody?
If what?
In CONCACAF.
If what?
Did it apply only to Jamaica, or did it apply to everybody?
What rule?
That decided which teams went in League A.
Yeah. Right.
So qualifying for the World Cup didn't happen.
No, but
and based on the rules, where you ended up in under 17, it dictates where you go in under 15.
But that's not. I'm not arguing that. What I'm saying.
Right, so
what I'm saying to you though. Here's my point. The last edition of the U15, Jamaica defeated teams that are in League A now.
Is it the same group of players?
No, I don't understand it. But this, I don't understand the point you're making though.
Well, I'm trying to understand your point, because you're speaking about 2 years ago. You're going back 2 years.
So, but
right now at this moment.
But I gave you my thought, and then you said something contrary, opposing it. I believe that this Jamaican team can compete with teams in League A. You disagree with that?
My response to you when you said that is that I didn't want to discuss Jamaica specifically, but if you want me to answer that based on what I saw over the past 2 days, I don't agree with you.
So that's fine. So I am saying
Mexico, America, Honduras, game in a different. A lot of these teams playing the game at a different level, in my opinion.
That's fine for you to believe that, but I believe the teams have not challenged. So let me say this to you. Unlike you, I believe I clearly see the Jamaican shape in defense. I see how they build out from the back. Do they make bad passes? I spoke about that. I watched the Panama game. I watched Honduras play. I watched Haiti play. And there are a lot of bad passes. El Salvador, a lot of bad passes. Is it El Salvador or Guatemala? A lot of bad passes. So to use bad passes, I've seen it on both ends. I think it would have been tougher for Jamaica, but I still believe this Jamaican team I don't think we have seen like the Brown who plays forward and Carlander Morrison at their absolute best, because they are just so bigger than these guys. They're just using just sheer strength and stuff. If they were playing in League A, it would be tougher. So I believe they would have done differently. In fact, they have every single game, the Jamaican team, like they give everybody opportunity to play. because they just know that they're above the league that they are in.
No, I think it's a development league, and everybody have to play at least 30 minutes or something like that. It's a development tournament.
I don't think so. I think it is the under 14 that they do that in. I don't think the rule applies for the under 15.
Okay, that's what one of the coaches shared. So maybe he doesn't know what he's talking about, but that's what was shared, that everybody needs to get a certain amount of minutes.
All right. So Jason Guna, our care, if you're listening, I believe the rule where everybody, because in the under 14s, you couldn't play more than a certain amount of minutes. Under 15, it is different.
Look, Jason just said there's a rule in this competition about minutes played.
There's one in this competition. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I thought that was
the point is the point is this, right?
Mm-hmm.
The point is this, and I don't want to be specific to know. I don't want to.
I can only talk about Jamaica.
Right. I'm not. My intent is not to critique necessarily Jamaica's performance. What I'm saying is that there are guys in the League A that's playing professional football in professional clubs, training every day, and you could see the difference.
I agree.
You can see the difference, and they're elite players. They are elite teams. And what I've seen, and again, this is my opinion based on my experience in the game, and I respect your opinion as well. But I don't think any of the teams that I've seen so far, and I've seen most of them in League B and C, is performing at an elite level.
Okay.
And that's just based on what we're seeing happen. I can't speak to what happened 2 years ago and what would happen. We have to look at, to give it context, we have to look at what is happening right now today.
Like I said earlier, I think Jamaica could have had 3 other players from the diaspora in the team. It would have added to the quality. I still think they have a lot to work still to be done, because I think they make some unnecessary, they just give away the ball unnecessarily. And I think, for me, I watch this Jamaican team, boss. It is sad because they are playing below the standard that they play, because I think it's too easy for them.
Well, and this is part of being an elite team. The game is a game of mistake.
No, hold on. Let me finish my point first. Which is why, again, and this is my position, I finished 4th in the last edition of the competition, and I was removed from League A to League B. Watch this. Replaced by a team that was in League B and never even came out of their group. But because they qualified for a different age group tournament, they are now. Not only that, the spot that should have been for a Jamaica, you brought in an invited team.
So this is what
Jamaica.
Right. So this is what I'm saying.
According to them, Jamaica was the next ranked team to come up.
All right. So let me say this. Let me say this to you. I don't know the team you're talking about, but just like I was asking,
isn't Saudi Arabia in it?
No, yes, but let me ask you this now.
Did they qualify?
Where?
Did they qualify?
Hold on. Let me say this to you.
Oh.
Did they qualify for the Gold Cup?
No, did they qualify? Did Saudi Arabia qualify?
They broke my son leg in violent conduct, and nobody said anything.
Really?
Right?
Nobody. I said something.
Well, not you. I'm talking about those that matter. So let me say this to you. Where were our leaders when these rules were being put in place?
That's why I want.
Where were they?
Where
were they?
Listen, I want to get a top position in CFU.
No. This is what we have 31 votes. This is not just where were they
right. So
when
Saudi
these
Arabia,
decisions were being made?
Saudi Arabia is the 9th.
Hold on. Let me ask you this. Let me finish asking you. Hold on.
No, man. I'm just reading what Jason typed. I'm not responding. So what I'm
Okay.
saying, so Jason saying that they are the 9th team. So I'm saying that of the 8, Jamaica is the 9th team when in CONCACAF, but Saudi Arabia got the 9th spot because they are invited. So we're saying the same thing.
Why are they invited? Why are they invited?
You tell me. But if Saudi Arabia were
No,
not,
I'm asking you.
But if Saudi,
I don't know they
no, but
invited.
if Saudi Arabia were not there, though, they would have gone to 8. So they will go to 9 to have a Saudi Arabia in there. But go ahead and make your other points.
Hold on. No, finish that statement. Finish that statement for me, please.
Yeah,
They will go to 9 to have
to
Saudi
invite
Arabia,
Saudi
but they
Arabia,
won't go to 9.
They will cut it to 8 to remove a Jamaica.
Okay, what does Saudi Arabia bring to the table that Jamaica is not bringing to the table?
I don't know. I need to talk to somebody.
Well, you were just saying that. Say that again.
Somebody would have to tell me. I don't know.
You can't have the discussion. You can't have the discussion.
I see AM says Saudi money sponsorship. I don't know. Maybe they sponsor it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it is money. Maybe they sponsor it. I don't know. So maybe next year Qatar sponsor it and they're in there. Or maybe China will sponsor it. Maybe Japan will sponsor it.
Qatar did it before they host the World Cup. This is the same thing that Saudi Arabia is going through. Qatar went through that. They were in the Gold Cup. They were in this tournament before the World Cup, and now Saudi Arabia is having the same experience.
So I don't know.
Because in the Caribbean we are not self-reliant. Okay, the resources that we get from CONCACAF, this is part of what we have to deal with. Do you disagree with that?
Do we have to
because nobody's saying anything.
Well, my point is that is it. That is why I want a top position in CFU, so I can say something.
What man? Don't do it.
Man, laughing. Why are you laughing at me? So I am not
because hear what happens.
I am not good enough to get a top position in CFU.
No, let me tell you why I'm laughing. No put words in my mouth.
I'm just asking.
Don't do that. But let me tell you. At the end of the day, once you go into that space, once you get into that space, you have to behave. You have to be obedient.
I don't understand.
Okay.
I want that. What? I don't understand.
You don't know what obedient means?
No, I don't understand what you mean. That. So
okay, I know you're bright. You're very intelligent young man.
No,
you have to be obedient.
No. All right. So okay.
All right. So I am. Let me help you.
Let me help you. I am in the JFF, and when I see conflict of interest in a professional way, I speak about it. I'm not afraid to say this is like with the team. I still come out and say, I believe the last time we were in it, we had 3 players, only 2 ended up playing, Kai and Kadriano Marsh, and they added value to the team. I said today, while you are the TDS and it's going well and this team did well in the U14's, you come to the U15's, still give, because we have a player that is 1 level below MLS, that is 15 years old, that could have been a part of this. Give him the opportunity. The point I am making is, I am going to speak. I am going to speak my mind. No, I can decide that I'm going to walk away if I feel like there's a conformity to what is wrong.
There's a lot of things that's wrong, that's stopping the football from growing. I know Reggae Boys think the football is growing, but when you compare to what is happening around us, around the world, it's hard for me to see the growth that he's talking about. Okay, because I know you guys have a plan to refurbish or rebuild your stadium, but when we look at small countries like Belgium and Iceland and all these places and what they did to develop the football,
when you say small countries like Belgium, What do you
Well,
mean? What do you
well,
mean
I,
small countries? They're
well,
not small.
compared to America, there,
Oh, compared to America, but not compared to the
right?
countries in the Caribbean or the islands in the
But
Caribbean.
but but what I'm saying is there's many countries that is developing the football, they're building facilities, which is a very, very important
Yeah, but I don't
part.
think we can compare ourselves to Belgium. Belgium is
Yeah, but hold on. Well, forget Belgium. Let's talk about Iceland then. Forget Belgium. If you don't think that, let's simplify the conversation.
yeah.
Right? The countries are developing, they're building facilities, they're getting together. I'll give you an example. And I don't know, I know that for sure that this don't exist in Trinidad, and I'm sure it doesn't exist in Jamaica. I don't know, you could correct me. It doesn't exist in America. There are countries in the world, big footballing countries, that have meetings with ex-players, groups. They have them in a group. And they talk about football frequently. Retired players, players who played in different places all over the world. And the idea is that these guys have been there, done that, and they could learn from each other. So the federation put together these groups so that they can have conversation about football. Because the intent is to be at the top of football, right?
Right.
And these are little things that we can do, because if who's one of your top players in Jamaica?
Yeah, the problem though, let me just say this though. The problem Jamaica have is that we have too many of these groups.
No. I'm talking about the federation having a group.
Yeah, but the federation have groups like that though.
So Manis, how does it work in Germany? What allows it to work in Germany?
What I'm saying to you, I think you have to listen what my answer is. You know, I don't think you heard my answer. I am saying to you, there is a group. I know that there's a group where the coaches meet, and that include players who are past players who are coaches. No, not everyone interrupt, but they're always having conversation. This include like all the Speed and Topper. All of them are in this group. Lots of them. They call it a coaches group.
Okay, so what you're saying there, that response is the response that normally comes out of the Caribbean. Okay, that may be a group of people that we are friends with. Okay, this may not be a group of people of everybody that's possibly been involved in the game that we can put. Some of them we disagree with, some of them we don't like. But Andre, what we want.
But Andre, man, you know, you really believe like Mr. Speed and Mr. Butler in a group and everybody agree? Come on now.
Well, it's not about everybody agreeing, it's about trying to learn.
No, the point I'm trying to make.
But that's an extreme situation though. That's extreme.
No, the point I'm making, no, man. I think, all right, the point I'm making to you is that they are in the group together with many others. The point I'm making to you is that this group that they have, you have the extremes in it, but they talk. They may not respond. They may not respond to me.
Well, kudos to Jamaica if they have it.
Yes,
kudos to Jamaica if they have it, and if it's benefiting the football.
They have no. Whether or not it is benefiting the general football, what I know is that it benefits some of the coaches in it to be in the group with the other coaches. That I've heard them talk about.
Kudos to Jamaica if it exists and there's benefit from it. That is great, because some other countries in the world, they have it and it works and they learn from each other. And in life, whether it's football or anything else, learning is important, wanting to learn from other people's experience. Nick Goop, he's talking about this.
You need to go back to the comment section and talk. The Reggae Boys react there.
No, he's he's an interesting one. I wish he'd show up one day on your show and stop hiding behind the keyboard.
Reggae Boys reactor. I'd love for you and Andre to have a conversation. He likes having conversations. You know? Can we arrange that, Reggae Boys reactor?
It's sometimes we have to. We have conversations.
And he's very respectful, so you don't have to worry with Reggae Boys reactor. And I know that you are respectful as well, so you don't have to worry about any disrespect. You understand me?
He needs to show up. He needs to stop hiding behind the keyboard and saying things sometimes that is not factual in nature, right?
No, you mean that what the one saying is not factual?
Well, he says that the period of time that Jack Warner was FIFA vice president, that he didn't do anything for the wider Caribbean. That's not a fair statement. That's not an accurate statement. I don't know why you would say that. So that's one of the things that he said that is not factual.
Oh yeah. He probably. But I think what Jack Warner was able to do was to get people to respect the entire Caribbean. All right. It is unfortunate because I feel like his departure from the football has shifted the focal point of Caribbean football to the Spanish-speaking places more so than the English-speaking.
But they don't have the same voting power that the Caribbean have, right?
But they are still a part of the Caribbean, don't they? Like what I'm talking about is like it is in Dominica. Isn't Dominica Republic part of the Caribbean? But I think there.
Say that again?
I feel like the
English. Look, we have in the English-speaking Caribbean, we have a tremendous power in FIFA and in CONCACAF, and it's not being utilized. And it's quite clear that the leadership, for some reason, is not willing to go out there because there may not be no togetherness. The CFU is, I don't know if it exists, or in what state that it's in.
Who is the new president?
We are not benefiting. He's from St. Lucia.
Yeah.
He's from St. Lucia. I can't remember his name, but the football, we are not the power that we're supposed to have, it doesn't exist. And you could only put that on the leadership. What we do have though, we have a lot of individuals. We have a lot of individuals that's benefiting from being part of CONCACAF and FIFA.
Yeah.
Do you disagree with that?
Yeah.
Man, you just told me you ain't afraid to talk.
No man, I'm reading a comment, man. Oh Lord, I'm afraid to talk. Honestly, I don't know. I don't feel like, well, if there are individuals benefiting, I can only speak about Jamaica. I don't know that anybody in Jamaica is benefiting. Honestly, I'm telling you, man, come on. I'm telling you, I don't know.
So all these people that's working for FIFA or for CONCACAF, there's no personal benefit to them. They're doing it for free.
No, so hold on. Okay. So if you're working and you're getting pay, well, fine. Of course, anybody who work for those places get it. I'm thinking when I think about personal benefit, I think like more like you're thinking like, okay, I am the president for the Jamaica Football Federation. Jamaica ain't benefiting, but because I'm the president and I serve on FIFA thing, they give me house and car and all of those things. I thought that is what you were talking about, personal benefits. But no, man. I'm honestly, I think that is what you were going down. So I would say I don't know about that. But obviously,
but how could I know about that if you don't know about that? I can't say that.
I'm saying that because you're saying you were making.
You've never heard me say anything like that.
All right. No, but when you made a general statement, it came across like what you were saying is that these people, their MAs are not benefiting, but the individuals, are getting personal benefits. That is what I'm saying, that I don't know about anyone in Jamaica because the only person is the president, I don't know that any other Jamaican even have any major seat in any CFU, in any CONCACAF. The president is the person that I know of that have a major role in CONCACAF as part of the leadership group of CFU, right? I don't know that he has any major say at the FIFA level. I don't know.
If the president have any say at the FIFA level?
Any major say, like could the JFF president, Michael Ricketts, go to FIFA and say, we are going to change this, and it happens because he has that Just like how the president.
Why are you phrasing it like that? He cannot go as an individual. He'll get decimated, but he's part of the CFU, isn't he?
Yeah, but you're just separate. All right, because remember.
No. He's part of the CFU.
Yeah, man. But remember, we're making a distinction.
If you go to any major organization on your own, you'll get decimated. You have to go as a group and utilize the power and the influence of the group.
Yeah. But he's not the. What I am saying is that because I'm just coming back to my original understanding of the personal the personal benefits as to what that means. All right. So
no personal individual people are moving. I'm not the house and car thing you mentioned. I don't know anything about that, and that was never in my mind. That was never my intent.
Okay. That is what I was saying, that I don't know. Right? I can't speak to those things.
But you know, personal benefit is not limited to that.
Yeah. So, for example, let me give you an example. All right. Let me give you an example. So, I went to Austria as a manager of the Jamaica national team. Is that a personal benefit?
I don't know why you want to go down there. Let's do it how it looks. Hold on a minute. This is what is important, right? Instead of trying to individualize it and personalize it.
I'd rather use myself because I don't want to accuse anyone of anything.
No. And we don't need to do that to you either, right? Because if I for the purpose of the discussion just try to be cantankerous and say yes, then it takes the discussion and it makes so what I'm saying?
No.
So let's not do that.
No, man.
No. But let me say this to you.
I don't want you to, because it's not about being cantankerous or anything. So let me say this. If when the team travels, as the manager, I travel with them, and someone says, okay, you're getting personal benefits, when everybody who is involved in any sort of work get personal benefits, and that's fine. If that is the case, then nothing is wrong with it. Because wherever you work, when you go there, you get AC. It's a personal benefit. When you work with a company, that's a personal benefit you have. If you work with a company and they give you a shirt to wear, that's also a personal benefit. So we can trivialize it, because if me traveling with the team to manage the team is seen as a personal benefit, then everyone who works is that's what I want to find out. Because when we talk about personal benefit, I don't think those are the things that have to relate to the job that you have to do.
That's okay. Okay, so let me ask you this. Does anything you do, you bring it to you, does anything you do with the JFF enhance your personal well-being or improve your economic standing?
Of course.
Well, then the answer is yes, you get a personal benefit.
Okay, so when a person works with I work with a company now, so I get a personal benefit. So
right. Personal benefit.
So what I want to ask you is
benefit.
Personal benefit.
Hold on.
No.
It refers to any advantage. Personal benefit refers to any advantage, profit, or gain that an individual or a private organization receives, whether financial or non-financial.
So I am answering you. So when I work with the JFF, they give us uniforms. So I get a shirt to wear. Outside of working with them, I would not be wearing that shirt. So what you're saying to me is that I get a personal benefits because that increases the amount of shirts in my wardrobe.
Based on the definition of what a personal benefit is, the answer is yes. It's not what I am saying. Remember, I've always said to you, my opinion is going to be based on experience or what is fact. So right now, when we talk about personal benefits, if we go with the definition of what a personal benefit is, the answer to your question is yes.
So that's what, So every person that has a job gets personal benefits. Because
management, hold on.
No.
I tried to speak about it.
No.
All right, go ahead.
Let me just you have to let me finish. Because when you go
finish.
to a company and they give you your work uniform, that becomes a personal benefit. When you go to the office and you don't have any AC, you're unemployed and you are at your yard and you have to be in the heat. When you go to the office on a daily basis, the company turns on their AC. You get a personal benefit. Like, fine, so I'm saying that everybody in life who has a job gets personal benefits. So is something wrong with personal benefits? Go ahead.
Could I respond? I tried to be general just now. You said no, let's speak about you.
Yes.
We spoke about you and you're going back general. You can't be all over the place like that.
No,
right?
No.
You're bringing in workman and we spoke
but
about
I gave you that. All right, you go ahead. Let me listen to you.
So my question is, if based on the definition, if it enhances an individual's well-being, improve their economic standing, or provide a competitive edge, it is a personal benefit, whether it's financial or non-financial. I am not saying that anything is wrong with it. That's not what I'm saying. And maybe you were receiving it that way, right? And the fact that I said, yes, it is based on the definition of what it is.
So
you can't run from that. If that's what it is, that's what it is.
All right. So based on the definition, I put it to you that persons who have jobs, all persons who are employed, get personal benefits.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
You see, you think, what you did. You heard the comment and you think it was negative or it was meant to be destructive. That's not what it meant to be, because sometimes you have to understand what we are talking about.
But you see what?
Right?
Let's go back to where you started, though, because you started by talking about the ineffectiveness of the CFU. Yeah. However, and then you alluded to the personal benefits of individual in the same context. So what I gathered from that, and if that's not what you were trying to communicate, then I misunderstood. So what I gather from that is that the CFU as a group is not pulling its weight. I agree. But when you mention no, however, basically, but persons have personal benefit, it made me believe, like, instead of pursuing the CFU matters, they are in this and just getting personal benefits. That is why I said I cannot speak of that based on the Jamaican context, because I don't know, right? Because I never consider like a person having a meeting and they send a car for the person to attend the meeting as personal benefit. With your definition, anything that enhances you economically. So if you send a Uber for me and I don't have to use my money, but you pay for it, then that becomes a personal benefit to me. You said that nothing is wrong with that. So I don't know then if we should say I don't know.
But I think you first to begin when, and this is for future reference.
Yeah.
If you don't understand what I said, ask me to clarify what I'm saying. Don't speculate that this may be what I mean.
What do you mean? Tell us what you mean. Yeah.
We've been speaking about it for about 10 minutes now, right?
All right. So yeah,
I just gave you the definition of personal benefit.
No, man.
There's nothing more to be said on that matter.
All right. No.
What I would like to say though, what I would like to say though is that when we look at football in the region, right? Maybe you disagree, maybe you don't, right? The football is not growing at the same rate as a lot of the other countries around us, right? That's why the League A teams look like they do.
All right.
Right.
So let me just say this.
And I'm sure.
Sorry, I have to interrupt. I agree with you with the first part of your statement. The second part, why the League A team look the way they do, I cannot agree with you. Continue.
Do you recognize, you would notice, Arsenal put about 5 teenagers on the pitch the other day. One of the best performers in the preseason is a 15-year-old kid.
I spoke about that. I'm talking about the region.
Hold on.
That example.
I was watching League One tonight, right? Mexico had a 16-year-old playing in the Gold Cup recently. I'm watching League One.
Didn't the Jamaica have a young whisper in Copa America?
Hold on.
Years ago?
Yeah, but how much these guys are playing? The guy from Mexico he played all the games.
But didn't Whisper play in every single game that Jamaica played and scored? And got a move to Chelsea?
Yeah, but here what you do. You hijack conversations. You cannot use... No, but hold on. You cannot use something that is not normal to suggest. And don't throw Jamaica in there. I'm speaking about the region. I don't want Jamaica... Conversations about Jamaica tend to get emotionally distorted at times, right? And so I don't want to get wrapped up in that. What I'm saying to you is, I'm watching the league games tonight, right, and all week for the past MLS teams and the Mexican teams, and I see a lot of young players, academy players, teenagers coming onto the pitch and playing. There's something happening in these spaces that is not happening in our spaces. I watched the Caribbean Shield recently, right? 2 teams from Trinidad was unable to get out of the group. Right, 2 teams from Trinidad unable to get out of the group. The 4 teams that got out were from different islands in the Caribbean. The football is not growing at the same pace as those around us, right? And there's no sustainable, and I can say this for Trinidad, Jamaica is in a better situation when it comes to the JPL and whatever. There's no sustainable league there. There's no academies that's working to develop it. Both countries are dependent on schoolboy football to get it done. Where around the world it's different. It's different. There are academies, professional clubs developing young players to play elite football. So when we watch Honduras and we watch the USA and we watch Canada and we watch Mexico and we watch Panama and they look different. That's all I'm saying.
All right. So let me
and I don't know if you disagree with that. Do you disagree with that? Or?
Let me say this, right?
Do you agree or disagree?
So I'm going to answer you. So there are parts of your argument that I agree with, but I need clarity. When you say that we are not growing as fast as those around us, who are the we and who are the those? I need clarity.
I'm speaking about the English-speaking Caribbean.
And who are the those?
Everybody else around us. Honduras, Mexico,
all right,
the USA,
but they are not in the
Canada.
Also, okay, all right. So this is why I need some clarity. So
they are in CONCACAF.
No, man. Okay, no, man. What I need is that. So Dominica Republic and Haiti, those Cuba, you're speaking English-speaking Caribbean versus Central America. This is what we're doing, right? And CONCACAF, Central America and North America versus English-speaking Caribbean. So when you say we, you're speaking the English-speaking and you're comparing us with the rest of CONCACAF.
The rest of CONCACAF.
All right. And you're saying that our football is not growing as fast as their football in Central. Agree. I agree.
Right. So
all right. So let me move on now. I don't know what I'm seeing though in El Salvador to say that they are ahead of teams like Jamaica or even Trinidad, because we're talking English speaking. So when we talk English speaking, there are only 2 really only probably 2 other nations in the Caribbean that we can bring up: Trinidad and Jamaica. I don't know who else, because remember, Haiti is out of it, and Dominican Republic is out of it, Suriname is out of it, Curacao is out of it. So we only have 2 really. Just
you see, Reggae Boy is not being factual again, but I'm going to ignore him this time because he's not being factual.
All right. So you cannot say a conversation with me. No,
I'm having a conversation with you. So let me say this to you. But if that statement you just made, are you speaking about under 15 or are you speaking about all levels of football?
Whatever level.
Because we just saw the under 17 World Cup qualifiers.
All right. So
who did you all play in the final game?
Andre, so we lost our final game.
No, who did you play?
We play a Central American team. We lost the game.
Who? Which team?
I don't know. So you know, I don't have to go through that.
Was it El Salvador?
What are you asking me? Come on, we can pass this, man. Like, I don't want to but we know. I said a Central American team, and I agree with you. Did we lose?
Right, and we played one as well, I believe.
No. So here's where you and I are far apart. That team from El Salvador did not beat us because we are not better than them. The Jamaican team that was there were many other factors that led to us not qualifying. And it has nothing to do with the group of players, because based on your own point, we have players that are playing at what is the level below the MLS?
Below the MLS?
The run right after MLS is the next level. What is it called?
What? ECNL?
I don't. Whatever the MLS.
Yes.
In the American pyramid, after MLS, what comes next?
ECNL.
After MLS, after the MLS, after Major League Soccer.
I could explain it to you.
I don't.
You want me to explain it to you?
Man. If that is the pyramid, I don't know. I'm going by what you say. But what I know is that when an MLS team have a team, they call it MLS Next Pro. You call it ECNL or whatever it means. I think it's
No. Okay, so there's MLS, right? There's MLS Next Pro, which is the second team just below the pro team.
But that's what I'm talking about.
There's MLS Next.
Right here. So no.
There's MLS Next, the academies.
So right. What I'm saying to you is that the MLS Next Pro, we have a center forward out in New York that signed and is playing in that right now. All right? We have out of this under 17 Jamaican team, I'm telling you, and some of those who did not make it. One just gone to, I think, to England. So we did not lose to El Salvador because we didn't have, we're growing at a slow rate, because the team that we had and the players available, we should have. Other factors led to it. That is my perspective. I cannot use that to say El Salvador is growing faster than us, because I don't think it had nothing to do with, because our players were in the American system, growing at a fast rate. We have players that went to Real Madrid. One little issue why I never signed for the Real Madrid academy.
So you're saying that you have players that were available that wasn't selected?
And some of the team selection. But Andre, don't pretend like you weren't on the platforms hearing the discussions with the issues.
Yeah, but we're having a different discussion now, because at the end of the day, part of the growth process is to do what's right. It's to pick the best players available, right? That's part of the process.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that? That's part of the process. And if we are not doing that, then there's a flaw in the system. Do you agree?
Of course, yes. So we're not saying that.
Right.
No,
so,
listen,
I just want to make sure
you're going to a different point, though. At no point did I say there's no flaw in the system. Your example of why Central American teams are growing faster than us is because in the last U17, El Salvador defeated Jamaica. That is
No, that's not my argument. That is not my argument. No. You and look, you need to stop that, right? You need to stop
I don't know.
framing. You reframe arguments.
I did not.
You reframe.
Make
hold on. That's not what I said.
Hold on. No. I did not repeat what you said, you know. I did not say this is what you said. I didn't say that. So what I'm going to do, using your same El Salvador 1-0 victory over Jamaica in the U17, make your point, because that's the point you were making. So I can understand.
I did not use that. I said, I asked you, who did you all play? And you lost to. At the end of the day, the result of a football match says 2-1, 3-2. Arsenal today is going to say 3-2. There's going to be no description about who was there and who wasn't there. Right? You put your best team on the pitch.
But we're talking about growth, though, and who is growing faster. So,
right. And if we're talking about growth,
so fine. Okay. No, man. You're right. So Villarreal is growing faster than Arsenal. I get your point.
No. That's not logical. That's not. You're mixing things up. When we talk about development of football in the English-speaking Caribbean, if you cannot tell me that it's not growing at a pace at a rate as the others around us, you cannot tell me that, and then turn around now and say the result of a game against a Central American team is not an indication of anything. Right? It's either we're growing at a fast pace, are we keeping up with the others, or we are not.
All right. So the words keep changing because now it's fast pace.
We need to. We're not at the same pace. We're not growing at the same pace, right? And all we have to do is accept that.
But what I'm saying to you,
do you agree we should be doing more? Do you agree we should be doing more?
That's a different argument, though. That's a different.
But that's the argument. That's the only argument.
But no.
Because all I want to do.
Andre, here's what you do. You ask me questions, you don't let me answer, you come up with the next question, and every time I try to answer, you ask me the next questions, and then you make it seem like I am the one who is really interrupting you, you know. But every time you ask a question, so you ask me a question and you answer. So, your position is that all of these Central American nations are growing faster than Jamaica. Let's use Jamaica and Trinidad.
No, the English-speaking Caribbean. These are my words.
Right. So listen, here's the thing.
You limited it to Jamaica and Trinidad.
All right. So
go ahead.
So here's my thing. I can't have a discussion about, because there are so many factors that you're missing in your argument. So, for example, I'm going to compare. So I'm not going to use Jamaica. So let's use Belize. Do I expect El Salvador to be growing faster than Belize? Of course. Barbados, St. Kitts and the Nevis, a lot of these places, because we must also understand that some of these territories are not even footballing territories per se. Compared to the size of El Salvador and Guatemala and those places and resources, we have to put those in. So I want to compare them with population sizes that are closer. So I'm going to look at El Salvador as an example. And like Nicaragua, who is over there, and Guatemala, who is over there, and let's look at some of the bigger ones. The Panama, who has done tremendously well. Costa Rica was done tremendously well. Honduras, who are rebuilding, though they struggled in the last World Cup campaign at the senior level, but they are improving and getting better. So let's use some of those. All right. I think Trinidad is doing their coaching education, so is Jamaica. That is getting better than it was. I've just seen last year a team from Jamaica in Cavaliers going to the stage where they ended up playing against a Lionel Messi and an Inter Miami. In my opinion, it never looked like Inter were 10, 8, 12 goals ahead of them. I thought the games were competitive, Inter Miami, were the better team, but they were competitive. All right. I saw a Trinidad team with, I think, recently played a game against the USA, and I think they were short like 10 men or something, and they held a defensive block on the Angus Eve, and they did well. All right. I've seen that. I saw a Jamaica team that played in a U15 and played Central American teams last year and defeated them. Came out of a group with Mexico, right? I saw that. So while some of these territories may seem to be ahead, I believe there are things happening to say that the football there's a lot needs to be done, but I don't think some of these places, based on resources, are growing any faster than anybody else. They're just ahead because they were ahead a long time ago. I don't think that they have grown so, because if we are growing, the gap should have been wider, because a lot of these places were way ahead. Way ahead. The El Salvador League used to take tons of Jamaican players on a regular basis over there. The league has basically watered down. So I don't know. I don't know.
So what you just did, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate you did what you just did. Right? You just position the argument. So you just position the argument that could make someone think that you are defending the Caribbean and I'm attacking the Caribbean. When you start pointing out what Cabelez did and whatever the case may be. Because if I respond to that, there's an other side of that story too. What Cabelez did was brilliant, right? They did it 2 years in a row, but that there's an other side to that conversation, right? You're pointing out things that is easy to argue against because they are one-off, right? The game against Mexico, we picked eight defenders and we defended and we got a point. That's last Gold Cup. How long ago was that? That's a long time ago. When are we going to go on the field and be able to compete against our opponent and have the ball as well and play football, right? When are we going to get to that level? We give up the ball every time we play against these people. We give up the ball. And in the Cavaliers case that you mentioned, they played 4 games, right? Is that correct? Cincinnati twice and Inter Miami twice, right? And between the both years, the game in Miami, the performance, in my opinion, was the best performance of all 4 games, right? But at the end of the day, that's professional football and we're looking for results, right? And it didn't work out that way. We didn't score any goals. I didn't see us getting closer.
I think sometimes when we have a conversation, Andre, I think, like, I don't know, like your statement a while ago, like I'm posturing the argument to make it look
No. You position the argument, the way you position the argument.
You see, this is the issue we have, because posture and position is the same thing,
Yeah, you're right, but we're talking about...
No, what I'm saying though is that I use posture and you're correcting me. That is the issue I have, because I'm not finished, but I use posture. You said, no. You position the argument. What is the difference?
Mannings, we're talking youth development, and you take it into another space.
So I am having I'm responding to you. I just allowed you to talk. I started by saying, I didn't like the way you did it because I said I posture the argument. Then you are saying to me, no. It's not posture, it's position. What is the difference?
Okay, so you like, which one of the words you like?
No, so what I'm going to do is ask you, Andre, what word should I use that you're okay with?
You position what I said, you position the argument, right, to pit me against the Caribbean. I'm an advocate for Caribbean football. That's why I'm making the argument that I'm making.
No, but we agree though. We agree that we're not.
Right, but when you start, but you went from the youth football and you start pointing out that something that we all know is a success for Cavaliers. We all know that. That's a success for Cavaliers. We're talking about the growth of football on the whole. That's what we're talking about.
All right, so let me go again, Andre. So I believe that the Caribbean influence needs to do better. That is at the leadership in terms of the presidential leadership in Caribbean football. I think we have lost our voice. We have lost our voice, and we need to reposition ourselves with strong leadership. It's not just, I think the only person in the Caribbean now that has a voice that resonates globally is the Barbados female prime minister. I think she is. I think
I would argue that Marlon Glean does as well.
All right. So when she speaks on just stuff outside of sports, her voice is heard. All right. When it comes on to the football, I believe at that level that needs to happen. I also believe that there has been progress in areas of Caribbean football. All right. And I'll tell you, the coaching education needs to be better, but I think it is a step in the right direction. All right. I see what I see, like there was last season, for example, from the pandemic, there has been greater movement of players in between Caribbean territories in the leagues, especially into the Jamaican League. So there are some things. I believe there is a lot of improvement that needs to take place from the under 13 to the senior levels, both male and female. In particular, I would say on the female level. I believe that it has taken too long for us to get closer to some of the top teams, which is Canada, Mexico, and the USA in particular. I think it has taken too long. I think we have also allowed. Go ahead.
No, I didn't say anything. I'm agreeing with you.
I think we have also allowed to have Panama. So you have those three as the top. And then I think Panama is in that bracket by themselves. And then you have like Costa Rica, Honduras, Guatemala, El Salvador, and Jamaica right there. And then you have the others, the other team. All right. That's at probably at most levels, youth level and stuff. So I think there needs to be a lot. I also believe, though, that some of these territories, other places outside of the Caribbean, are not growing any at all, including Guatemala. Though they had a good Gold Cup, this is probably the first time in how many years they have done so well in the Gold Cup. I don't think El Salvador is like, I can look at El Salvador and say, wow, man, El Salvadorian football has blown up and stuff. I think teams like Dominica, well, you can't use that. I think even Bermuda, that has taken a lot of female players from the USA, they have been doing better. Bermuda on the male side has also been doing better. We can't use the Suriname because they're not English speaking. We can't use the Curacao because even these teams have been improving. All right. I don't think, right, some of these Central American teams have been growing any faster. What is happening is that the growth in the Caribbean is so slow that the gap hasn't been closed. But I think a time is coming when teams like Guatemala, I think they even struggle. The Guatemala and El Salvador, they are going to keep struggling with even some of the smaller territories in the Caribbean by 2030 World Cup. So
before you go further, how do you just explain to me, how do you list a group of countries with Jamaica and does not include Trinidad and Tobago when at the under 17 level, both countries lost in the last game, right? At the Olympic level, both countries didn't go to the Olympics. At the senior team level, the recent Gold Cup, both countries didn't get out of the group. Both countries are still in World Cup qualifiers. right? The only thing different that happened over the past 2 years is Copa America. So how do you justify not listing Trinidad?
Let me tell you how I justify, because I did start out by saying from under 13 to senior, male and female. And so when I look at football and the growth of football, I don't look at it as just what is happening with a senior men's team. I look at all the football in the country. I look at the club football, right? I talked about the exchange of players in the league. So when I put all of those factors, I think Jamaica is ahead of Trinidad and Tobago and ahead of some of those teams. I can't, maybe I'm not seeing it. Maybe El Salvador and Guatemala have qualified for some female, and I don't know, Youth World Cups, I don't know. But what I know is that we have a team, a female team that has qualified for 2 female World Cup back to back. All right. We have that, right? We have several players from our female team making marks all over Europe. We have that. So when I put those things, I mean, just in this season, we have like 7 Jamaicans that have moved in the transfer market that are players who have come out of Jamaica. Out of Jamaica. So when I look at all of that, when we think about, again, how many persons from Trinidad play in Jamaica, in the league, and from Barbados and from Bahamas and from Haiti, and from we look at that, when we look at what Mount Pleasant is doing as an individual club in Jamaica, when I put all of those things, I believe that where we are at, I think we are ahead. All right, because I'm talking about the football on a whole, not just the senior argument. Right. Now, when you talk about quality of play, I always believe that when it comes on to the technical abilities, over the years, one of the things I will appreciate with Trinidad is that they always seem to have players who enjoy time on the ball and play it around and that kind of a thing. But Jamaica somehow have this dynamic power and display that always seem to use those things. But if you ask me about what I've seen over the years in terms of technical ability of players, on a whole, I think, like, for me, I always believe like Trinidad kind of, homegrown I'm talking about, kind of possess that in their play. But when you put the teams together to perform, I find that the Jamaican teams have always outshone teams from Trinidad.
Which version of Jamaican teams you talking about?
Male and female.
No, which version? If you're talking about the senior male team, which version are we talking about?
Just teams in general. Male, female. When I look at like under 15 and stuff.
Yeah, I don't think is that an accurate statement? That observation, I don't think that, I'm not so sure that that's accurate, but I'm not gonna.
Well, what I know is that in a recent under 20s or under 20s, as you'd have, I can find it and show you. Simon is not here, but we have had more, even under 20, under 17, male and female, and senior team, Jamaica leads. But I'm not. Yeah.
I'm not. There's no reason to deny why these discussions are so complicated sometimes.
In fact,
I deal with reality. So
in fact, I think the last time.
Reality.
Yeah, I think the last time.
So I'm not going to try to inflate.
Yeah.
I'm not going to try to inflate where Trinidad is. Trinidad football has taken a dip, and there's a lot of work to be done.
I don't think so.
Right.
I don't think Trinidad football has taken a dip.
Yeah, Trinidad football took a dip. Trinidad, if you, I mean, I grew up in Trinidad playing football, and I know where football was, right? And all I can look at now, I don't look at that. I look at the potential where football in Trinidad could be, where the Caribbean could be, if we just behave different, in my opinion, right? We always talk about in the Caribbean, we don't have money, right? And I'm not so sure that is.
Do we?
That is. Say it again.
Do we?
Look, I think we do. I think we do. I think we do.
Andre, when last have you been in the Caribbean? Like spend like time. I'm not talking like I'm not talking when you come to Jamaica you're in a hotel, like for a week and you enjoy,
So and this part of the conversation, if we want to be honest, you see, it have money in the Caribbean. It have money in the Caribbean. The Caribbean does have money.
Andre, we have track and field athletes. You have heard are switching nationality.
Yeah.
In Jamaica. All right.
Do you feel that?
Hold on. We have sporting bodies that can't send. Like on the news this week in Jamaica, since last week and this week, there are 3 sporting bodies in Jamaica that are crying for funding, and it's not football nor track and field. No.
Did I say this?
When we say we have money, what I would say to you is that there are people who live in the Caribbean who are wealthy. It don't mean that sports have access to that money, because that belongs to people and it is their money.
Why does sports don't have access to it?
Sports don't have access to my money, and then they don't have access to your money.
I heard you saying.
No, man, that's a people money for them and them family. What?
No, but hold on. Yeah, but sports does have access because because sometimes people ask for stuff and you provide it.
No,
right?
man,
that's access to your money.
Sports don't have access to your money, man.
But hold on. You were saying earlier.
We can give sports access. We can give sports access to. They don't have it. They don't have it.
And if we give it, they have access. But let me say this to you: you were making an argument earlier on about sponsorship.
Yeah.
Right? You remember your discussion about sponsorship?
Yes, sir.
And you were talking about what does the organization that sponsor, what do they get back, right? Sponsorship is what they get back have to be a function of JFF have a deal with Adidas, right? With me?
Yeah, man, I'm listening.
JFF have a deal with Adidas, but JFF, I don't think they have to buy. Do you all have to buy clothing from Adidas?
Like when I said buy, like who? Like the teams?
Yeah.
Like equipment and like gears? No.
Uniform, right? You don't have to buy that, but Adidas get revenue from the fan base buying Jamaican gear.
Yeah.
Right? That's my understanding of how sponsorship works. So if you apply that to what you were discussing about the hotel, then that's how it works. That's how it works. Right? And if the JFF have an agreement with one of those organizations, they don't necessarily have to buy hotel for them, but it could be a conduit by which people buy hotel rooms and go there and stay, right? Because it's being promoted by the JFF and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but it's 3 hours, So here's what I want to do, because I have somebody who really want to talk to you, about this money thing, because they always say money is, that I want to talk to Andre, because they always say like money is not the, when it comes down to the Caribbean and things, funding and things. Well, let me tell you, man, he's a good person, man. We call him Kerry. He was on the show with you the other day. Yeah. Says he wants. So one of these days I want you and him to have a conversation on this. But Andre, let me tell you this. Like, I'd love to see more money put in sports. I think that time will come. But watch this. That's why I'm telling you. Until you, I think, like, the reality of the situation can only be understood when we are in the reality of the situation. You see?
No, that's an argument that we use in the Caribbean. We need to cut out. Hold on. Hold on, let me say this. We need to stop that argument, because here what this is about. Let me break it down for you. Real simple. This is about our desire as men to become self-reliant. Right now, somebody pays for everything that we do. Okay? So hold on. Somebody pays for everything that we do, and we are comfortable with that. And I'm not saying give that money up, but we need to do more to become self-reliant. And that's where the argument begins and ends with me, right? Somebody, we have to wait for them to send us money to pay our coaches.
I don't know how you're going down that era. So let me, because you have to allow me, and that's why it's important that you allow me to finish my point. And then, so, because I used to run a club, I used to run an academy where the kids have to get everything for them, from gears to boots, to everything. They can't pay, and those who can pay the full amount. All right. There are kids that I had to keep the boots because if I give them it, their things are so desperate at that point that their parents would sell it. So I had to take back stuff from them. When I speak about the reality of the situation, while there is money, a lot of times the level of poverty that people live in, it's really not obvious until we see the reality of it. You see, I used to be of the view when I was out of Jamaica that no man, them can do better. This cannot be so. How can they be doing that at this time? And when I got in the reality, I realized that this is going to be like social work. And I will do it as long as I'm able to. So I made it about social work. And for a time, between my friends and I, everything that we did was free. Completely free. Right? Right? So, all right. So, what is the point I'm making, Andre? I would love you know what some academies charge in Jamaica, Andre?
What?
$8. $8.
Look, let me say this, right?
Yeah, hold on. No, I want to make sure. No man. Let me just make sure I give you the right
US dollars.
I'm going to tell you so let me give you recently. Let me just make sure I give you correct figure. Yeah, call it. So they charge $7 on Saturdays, $7 from 9 to 12, and they have to provide water and uniform. That's what most of the academies in Jamaica charge, and most people cannot pay it. $7.
You understand? I'm sure you'd appreciate that there's poverty all over the world, even here in America. I thought people living in real dire circumstances, right? Every year, we come across kids that we have to pay for them to play, right? And I've spent within the past few years in excess of $50,000 for kids to pay. So it happens. It exists all over, right? What I'm saying is, a lot of times we give a kid a pair of boots, and that doesn't come with information or with a process or with an environment that says, you know what, we give you a pair of boots now, but we're going to teach you. We're going to teach you how to get the next pair. Right? We're talking about self-reliance.
No, you have to teach him how to keep the first pair we have, because if you go in the yard and wash it and put it
But that's fine. That's fine. Every environment is different.
When
we
he
gotta do.
when he go home.
You understand what self-reliance is?
Andre, when he go
Do you
home,
understand what
no,
that is?
yeah, man, no, man, I'm hearing it, but I'm telling you some stuff. When that kid goes home, it's a size 6 they give him, and him have a brother that wears 7.5, and him brother gonna take out the insole out of it, and him can't do nothing about it. Or him leave it outside, and he wake up next morning, and he gone. He might go home, and them take it from him. You have to keep. I'm telling you, you know, there are some realities that I'm not saying that there are solutions, you know, but we must also not ignore the real.
No, that's nobody's ignoring. We all come from difficult situations one way or the other. Nobody is ignoring that. What I the way my brain allows me to think is in terms of solution.
Okay.
How do we right connect where we are now to the future?
All right, people, never beat him now. Yes. Well, not beat him, but we get but you know,
try.
no, not beat him. But you know, people. So I decided that I was going to start restart my whole academy thing, right? So I said, listen, normally, because what I did, I wasn't going to be able to do it because of the involvement. So I just felt like the right thing was to do was to just give what I had to other people so they can help other kids. They use them, they took them, they charge. That's how they want to do. So now, after be getting back agility ladders, you know, the pump that you can, you know, those electronic pumps that you can just measure, set it does the whole ball thing. Tents and I have the jerseys and stuff. So I'm trying to get together stuff. And listen, it's difficult. It's difficult because a lot of people who used to have things in the States and say, listen, we can give, they don't even have it anymore. They don't.
Look, let me say this. And Reggae Boys, and I don't like this, but I'm going to do it anyhow. I'm going to do it because you know the reality of this. Reggae Boys reactor is trying to beat me and fight me and whatever the case may be. Right?
Right? I just made a point and I just ignore my point and when I talk to Reggae Boys reactor. Listen,
but I'm
sure and Reggae Boys reactor talk. Oh, that's so.
No, but I'm gonna say this because you know this. You know this so well because I shared this with you. And I normally don't do this. I'm going against the grain here. I'm going against the grain.
Then why do you feel like you have to do it?
No, because you see sometimes people are running them out and they're saying things and they don't know the reality, right?
But people are running out. I mean, you see Duckland, they're here running out, man. Yes, that's why Duckland.
Because I can send you the video where they said thank you. I just sent me and one of my coaches sent 60 balls to Jamaica. Right? And a whole bunch of boots. Right? I'm saying it. People from Trinidad listen might get mad at me. Right?
People, I didn't get any.
Well, it went to a young man with an academy.
People, I just want you to know.
So here what I want to know.
When last you to believe that is me, him send them to people. That's why I make sure.
What I want to know is when last Reggae Boys reactor sent a board to Jamaica. That's what I want to know. Them tell me. I'm gonna start the war. You want to be cantankerous? When last you sent a ball to Jamaica or a pair of boots?
I'm disappointed in you. Maybe Reggae Boys reactor. Maybe Reggae Boys reactor is in Jamaica. Don't do it.
Well, I don't know where he is. But
maybe he is in Jamaica. So I'm gonna ask him, why should I send it here? I live here.
But anyhow, that's neither here nor there. We do what we could do, but we have resources. We have resources, and what we don't do sometimes, we gotta start thinking about becoming self-reliant. Everything that we do just now, the development program that the national teams have for the youths is paid for by someone else. If they don't send the check, we've got to shut that program down, or coaches work without pay. National team coaches. Those are things that if we that's part of improving the football, right? And the corporations have a responsibility to support. But how we go to the corporations, the kind of environment we create, I think is important. Is that simple? So, but we have to put the under 15 in perspective. That was the reason why I ended up staying on too long.
Yeah.
I think we need to be fair about the under 15s. The The A League, in my argument, is that they are elite footballers, and you can see it. I think B and C is not competing at that level.
And
I know you differ, but that's
yeah,
not
and I don't agree. I don't agree with you still. I think Jamaica could have participated in there, but anyway, listen, man. Bless it. It's 3 hours and 15 minutes, and I don't want wife to beat me. Come on, my wife has been asking me. I told her that I would have been on for a very short time. But very good conversation. It has gone past the time. But I would love for you and Kerry to talk on some of this.
Yeah, I don't mind talking to Kerry. Kerry's good people.
What about Reggae Boys reactor?
Reggae Boys reactor, he's a truly like Gunner Boss.
Yeah.
He's a truly like Gunner Boss.
I don't know what's going on.
Comedy what works now.
Yeah. All right, blessings, my brother. Yeah, man. I will talk. All right, and that's Andre. I'm a very good friend, and we may argue like this, but we're good friends. All right, but listen, one umbrella send me this, so I'm say I must play it. So listen what I go on. Tell me if I hear it, people.
Reggae boys, read McCoy, ain't no tie. Every side get destroyed. Reggae boys employ. Read them up a Pinterest, my name. Send it. Call can't offend it. I mean, when Reggae boys play, I dance your business. I would say one era, one umbrella man. You understand? Senior. Hey, that side over there, son. I want you make way for the reggae boys now. Cause if you don't do that, I said then this will be 60 running, building the football like soda sorrow. Kick out them feet. Them are a danger when they muck up your defender. Warren a dribble no defender stays. Reggae boys a kick ball up, then now the whole stadium stays so. Now them trappers are defender. Nobody can pass and dribble it or goalkeeper. We no one get in a them marrow. Them one more spectacle because them feel over macho. But the reggae boys just chill out. And I score until them figure back so. Reggae boys into me and no clown, they're the real professor. Trophy now. Reggae boys have the trophy now. Real winner now. Reggae boys is the real winner now. Hey. Oh, you should never kiss the champion. No. Because reggae boys are the gaga. So we that side over there, son. Make way for the reggae boys, yeah. Cause if you don't do that, I said that that's gonna be 60 but I reach right foot but like the soda sorrow. King pick up boy pocket hands with defender. Plus the war past them pretender. Tell them to in Jamaica after 3-0. Them a rocks Billy, we making bad sound. Say Billy better than the one near Orlando. Defender each up over there, so wanna watch reggae boys, them a move so.
All right, one umbrella. If you know I hear it, Duckland, Allah ya tell. So look how long me I play the song, and me I want to ask the people if them I hear the song. Let me see if me can do it the way. Me never know see you know I hear it, Duckland.
I'm making no say this is the reggae boys. Read McCoy, ain't no tie. Every side get destroyed. Reggae boys employ.
Me never know see you never hear it. I'd be thinking I hear the song, Duckland, man. Hear it, man.
Hey, that side over there, son. I want you make way for the reggae boys now. Cause if you don't do that, I said them that's gonna be 60 running in the football like soda sorrow. Kick out them feet. Them are a danger when they muck up your defender. Warren a dribble no defenders. So reggae boys a kick ball up, then now the whole stadium stays so. No, them trippers are defender. Nobody can pass and dribble it or goalkeeper. We no one get in a them marrow. Them one more spectacle because them feel overmatched. But the reggae boys just chill out. And I score and tell them to go back south. Boys internet no clown, they are the real professor. Trophy now. Reggae boys have the trophy now. Real winner now. Reggae boys is the real winner now. Well, you should never be the champion. No, because reggae boys, they are the god. So we eat that side over there, son. Make way for the reggae boys now. Cause if you don't do that, I said that that's gonna be 60 road. I reach right foot, but like the soul of sorrow. King pick up white pocket as we defender. So what puts them pretender? Tell them to village Jamaica after 3-0. Them a rocks Billy, we making bad sound. Say Billy Banana, no one named Rolando. Defender each up over there, so I now watch reggae boys, them a move some.
Yeah, courtesy of the one umbrella. Don't get drunk. Big up yourself for the people. I have Marines, but you know I get happy independence to you all. You understand me? Stay safe, be safe. You understand the blessings to everyone. Reggae boys reactor, big up. Mr. Porter, keep on doing it. Yeah, what you're doing, you know. You understand me? Keep locking it down. You understand? Big up to you. Ian Campbell, bless up yourself too, you know. You know, Black Star Radio, Duckland, you don't know. GSDs, you don't know. Bless up on yourself. You understand me? DW, Jackie, in the building. Bless up yourself as well. You understand me? Simon passed through earlier. Big up, you know. Caribbean Rivers and Seas, up, beat JFF every single minute, every Zenith, Nitro, 6-9, AM Henry, sure improvement, the two ladies in the chat today. Big up on yourself. Yeah, so I am Manins, man. This has been I Am Sure Sports, and as usual, when it gets to this point of the show, we say we are over and out, but I leave you with a daily ranks. You don't know how it go.
Watch this. You know, say the world general Daily Ranks says, I'm ready for it, you know. Ali Cup and a Folly Cup, you know, say it's a high grade, it's not a Mali Cup. Saying, big up, a matter of fact, remember big up the sponsors, them first. Complete Shipping, Sam Isaacs and Son, Western Sports. Big up, but you know how it go. ASK Courier, big up yourself, Showtime Ambulance, I want to big up Isato. And guess what? Me big up some of my virgin them, because them are going to because it's a big day. Big up Sambo. Big up Bats, Barris, watching the Valley, think me not see you. Big up yourself. Oh, again, Daily Ranks, if I big up Clint, and big up the general, you know it go. It's all about Ali Cup and a Folly Cup, August 13, 14, 15, 16, 137 Mountain View Avenue, you know, over excellence and that. It's a big day, so make sure you're there. Daily Ranks, my warm up feet, man, my feet, you see? Ali Cup.